Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation. If you haven't watched the show before, if you don't know these lovely faces, I think you'll find we're very ninth.
Very nice indeed.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Buckle
What
in.
what a dry and humorless fun that was. Yes, thank you for gracing us with such things.
Yes, very good. It's good to see you, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Welcome to the very ninth episode of Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation, featuring Sharp the Axebeak and some other people.
Yep, true story. Most important character.
Absolutely.
Sharp. It's a reference to that show from the late 90s with Sean Bean in it.
I think it was earlier than that, but yeah.
Colonial soldier or whatever.
So
yeah.
I didn't know when I watched. Here's some good Sean Bean trivia for you. When Sean Bean in the first part of Lord of the Rings touches the shards of Narsil and cuts his finger, and he says, "Still sharp." That's a reference to that show.
Because when he said that, I was just like, duh.
Yeah, I didn't,
Like,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
just-
But apparently he asked Peter Jackson if he would be allowed to say that as a reference to, like, I mean,
That show was pretty good, I gotta say. It was, like, young kid me was like, oh, this is kind of a cool show.
Yeah.
It's got a cool guitar at the end that they play.
Mhm.
You know, this is good.
I don't know what show that is, so
You should go watch it. It's got Sean Bean in it.
Yeah,
Being a
it's-
dashing sergeant of the
Yeah,
British
what
Army.
it's the what era is it set in?
It's like
Napoleonic Wars.
Napoleonic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's got the best mullet. He looks like Sting. Oh damn, Sean Bean. Seriously, everybody, look.
Hey,
look.
links.
I can post links. So there you go. He looks like Sting.
Oh, it's beautiful. He does
Yeah.
look like a thing.
Throw Sean Bean in
Good.
like some black vinyl underpants. Give him a knife to fight with,
Did they
and you got a
bleach
dead
his hair,
ringer.
Or was it always that light?
So it's your first shout for Sting is the Dune reference.
Obviously.
Really? Yes. This is Adam we're talking about.
Listen,
here?
I didn't spend a lot of time in my
There's
youth.
like 100 other things you could reference like Sting looks for. Just never
No,
mind.
that's the number one top Sting look is the
Okay.
mostly naked knife fighting Fade-Ratha version of Sting.
I mean, I'm not saying that the Fade-Ratha version is bad. I'm just saying that it's not the first place I would go.
I
You're
realized my nerd cred was super backwards when Sting for me is not just the Lord of the Rings
right,
reference.
the sword, yeah.
It's actually the WoW weapon in the Blood Elf starting zone that is a reference to the
To
Lord of
the world of the, yeah.
So, Blue Jay, you can speak to this a little
Secondhand
bit.
memes.
So yeah, World of Warcraft, as with all Blizzard properties, is just like rife with secondhand memes.
well, it's because the people that are making it are huge fucking nerds.
It's true.
Nope.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I'm victim to this too. Like Burning Wheel is in Dungeon World because of secondhand memes. There's all kinds of that bullshit going on. So it's just
If
interesting.
you like a thing and then you make another thing and you're like, oh, let me put a reference to this thing I like.
Let's put
And
a-
only a certain amount of people are going to get it. And those people are going to be so happy
What
about
was-
it.
I mean, what was
They
the
all
first?
like
The
things.
first time this came up was you and I were having a conversation about Omae Shinderu.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like we were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about You're Already
Omae.
Dead.
Mhm.
Oh, the
I think that was
game
the first
show.
time. Yeah. Cause I said it, I think. And you're like, do you know where that comes from? I'm like, yeah, Overwatch.
Right.
Duh.
Which is fair. Like, let's be real. It's secondhand memes are still memes.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a really strange place to be where culture is nerd culture, at least, is so quickly folding in on itself that we get these memes that are like, oh, that's from this thing. Nope.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You think you know where this originated, but you don't even. There is like you're standing on the precipice of a deep, dark pit of memery. You don't even understand.
Yeah, it's
Listen,
the
you don't
event
wanna
horizon
fall-
of memes.
You don't want to fall into that well. That
Naja
well
has.
meme.
Naja lives in that well.
Step back from
Yeah.
that ledge, my friend.
She drank deep from the well of memes. The other day I was playing some Magic the Gathering, and it has the same thing, but for mechanics,
Yeah.
where the shorthand for any given mechanic is usually the first card that had it.
Yes.
So like you'll wheel someone, or you'll
That's
like milling. There's all of these names in it that are actually just memes.
That's,
It's like a self-referential loop.
there's got to be a linguistic term for that where like I mean, hell, D&D
Like
is,
the
D&D
noun-
is
well,
responsible
I mean-
for a bunch of that shit, right?
I mean,
Like,
there's a ton of instances with like the noun becoming the verb of a thing.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah.
When Dave referred to like making a character in Spyhander by saying you were burning up a
That's
new
right.
character.
yeah.
That's right. I saw that. Yeah, I love it. God, language is magical and confusing, which I guess is part of what makes it magic.
Arcturus would agree.
Yeah.
Which is why Sharp the Axebeak is not the pun you think it is. It's a different joke.
Should I add?
All of this to say.
I was gonna say, should I add an E to the end?
Yeah,
of,
it's
the
Sharp
end?
with an E.
All right, there you go.
That was my intent the whole time.
Brilliance. Good job. Nicely screwed.
No, it's not a word.
It's a word the moment he says it is.
Yeah. So before we begin, just to let everybody in the audience know what's what before we begin our show, let's do a quick character review. Who is Ishi Snaggletooth? Really?
I mean,
Who is the real Ishi Snake?
Mhm.
you're asking a deep philosophical question, but on the surface, Ishi is a kobold fighter with a rapier and a fantastic cape and a nice hat.
Mhm. Very important equipment. The rapier.
Oh,
the cape,
yes,
and the nice
yes.
hat. Yeah. It's like the Triforce of duelist gear.
Look, if you call yourself the greatest duelist in the land and you don't have a hat or a cape or a rapier, you're doing it wrong.
It's true. It's true.
Yes.
It's absolutely true.
Incorrect.
D'Artagnan would be very disappointed in you.
Exactly.
So stalwart companion to Ishi Snaggletooth, the Art Garfunkel to her Paul Simon.
Really?
us-
I'm Garfunkel?
You know
Shit,
you're
gonna
you
put me
know
like
you're
that?
Garfunkel in this situation.
Damn.
You are not the
Alright.
Julio. You are the schoolyard, my friend.
fucking Garfunkel.
Tell us a little about Little Fox.
Little Fox is a barbarian. She likes meditation and finding her spiritual center through years of seclusion and murdering things while shouting.
Right.
And she's real big and real nice to animals. Made friend with an axebeak named Sharp.
That's true. That's true.
And she's a furbolg.
She is a furbolg.
She is. She's a beautiful furbolg.
We need to do like behind the music, but with D&D characters, where it's all the like between adventures stuff.
Yo, MTV Cribs, but for D&D characters.
Yeah, exactly,
Wizards of
right?
the
We need
Coast.
this kind of shit.
Make it happen.
It's so funny.
I mean, isn't the whole point that we don't have homes? That's the hobo part of murder hobo.
That's
No,
true.
but once we make it, once we're like 8th level,
I mean,
we
I
made
have a
it.
home.
We can have a home.
Okay, I'm sorry, Arcturus, but the sea does not count as a home. I mean, you could be married to the sea, but I don't think you can live in it. Tell us about the romantic. Listen, if Arcturus knows anything for sure, it's that it's not the size of the canoe that matters. It's the motion in the ocean. Romantic cleric Arcturus Vuvaxath. Tell us about yourself.
I hate you.
I'm totally just turning this into like a love connection, like dating show. Bachelor
You're
number
welcome for that,
Bachelor
Adam.
number 3, Arcturus Vuvuzela. Tell us about your character.
Arcturus Vuvaxith is the Triton Tempest cleric who likes long walks on the beach into the ocean.
The log walks under the beach.
You can't go under a beach. It's not a thing.
Most people walk along the beach, but Arcturus just walks out into
Yeah.
like
It's like most people
perpendicular to
walk
that
like
line.
parallel to the
Yeah.
beach. Arcturus, walks perpendicular to the beach.
Yeah, it's legit.
And does not like boats. Very against boats.
Mhm.
Also, likes feeling emotions and not recognizing other people also feel emotions. And likes making everything hard for the party by insisting that we don't just murder things straight off the bat. It's great.
Excellent. Welcome to the party. And you were level 3 Tempest cleric, right? Excellent. Good stuff. And rounding out our party, the only character to have fallen a record 300 feet and not died, Malik
Yep.
Algrib. Tell us about yourself, Malik.
Well, Malik is the only sane person in this entire party, and that's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
no,
it.
sorry, bro. You're just way too swingy on both ends of the.
What are you? I disagree.
Yep.
wholeheartedly.
I carried you home while you were comatose, and now you
Yeah, you're
betray me
very
like
friendly, but you're also
And
like
now
really
you
scary, and you like rip things apart with your bare hands and smash them into oblivion with a hammer.
this. There's some
Friendly,
practical skill in the jungle.
yeah, friendly but unstable.
More of a dragon than the kobold. Human sorcerer.
Malik was a man. He was also a dragon.
Just
He was a
taking
dragon man.
shots.
Sure was. Oh god.
So Malik is
This
technically human because we had some people asking before. Malik's species is human, but
Yes.
as a dragon sorcerer, you have some draconic stuff going on.
Yeah, doing flavor like that. I guess it mixes it up a little bit, but
Yeah, like
he's human. He's just got some scales and some draconic heritage and blood in him that flavors how he casts and that sort of stuff.
excellent, cool. Well, welcome, party. We are in the midst of exploring a hollowed out statue, big old hollowed out statue set into the wall of a cliffside. Look at that handsome statue. Yeah, there are many exciting things to be found in here. Currently, I think only two of you are sort of fully inside. Sharp the axe beak stands nervously outside, peering in but afraid to come inside. Malik and Arcturus, you're standing on the edge of a deep pit, 20-foot deep pit. At the bottom of that pit are your companions, Little Fox and Ishi.
I feel like one of
Ishi
us
got
was.
out.
Yeah, I was on the ledge, pulling myself up at the end.
Right.
Looking.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
those athletics checks.
Yeah, and the inside of the inside of this thing, though it's harder to see from the top, is stepped, right? So as you go in, it goes up at each level. Though right now it's a dip and then up, right? So right now, yeah, you're all at varying levels. Yeah, Ishi, you're clinging to the top, and I think we begin just with you pulling yourself up over the ledge, right?
Yeah.
That was the plan.
Okay. All right. Now, Little Fox, throw me a rope.
And you just get like bapped with this rope that gets thrown out.
Yeah. The rope comes flying up from below. Okay.
And I grab the rope,
Mhm.
and then I look for anything I can attach the rope to on this particular area.
Okay. Yeah. Well, a cursory glance around doesn't reveal anything that you can hook your rope to. There's some cobwebs that you have to kind of like brush out of the way. Plain stone floor. You're on a 10 by 10 platform. The wall ahead of you. Let me see. In this space is, let's see how tall. Quite high. Yeah. So the ceiling is 23 feet high above you, give or take. I know it's very specific. And then in front of you there is there's a tiled wall that you will have to climb to pass over.
How wide is this pit across? Like if I wanted to jump over it and not like land in it, how wide is it? Or deep or whatever?
Oh, it'll be tricky because it's 10 feet across.
I can jump 10 feet.
Right, but it's not flat. You have to jump diagonally up too. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So
because the
you're not
step
just jumping across, you're jumping
higher.
up.
The step that Ishi's on is higher up than
Yeah,
the step that we're on.
you are currently looking. If you look forward, you can only see Ishi's feet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so slight problem.
So are you like poking your head down so you can see the people at the
Yeah.
back?
Just slight issue. There's nothing to attach this rope to up here. I could keep climbing, but there may not be anything further up either.
I have a feeling that probably more traps similar to this one await. We should stay together. Maybe? Looking down at Little Fox.
All right, then. I guess you best start climbing.
You mean I used the spell and you can't even capitalize on it?
There isn't anything to attach the rope to.
Malik, do you want to just step off and drift to the bottom?
Hold on. Wait 1 second. And he pulls like an iron spike out of his backpack and a hammer and like throws them up to you. He's like, "There, use this."
Okay.
I'm gonna just try to climb this thing.
Okay.
Just so that so I can get up there and help.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics check. You're the one most likely to be able to do this. So yeah, go ahead. 15. Yeah, no
15.
problem. Yeah, you can pull
Yeah.
yourself up.
So little fox just like finds little cracks to like wiggle her fingers into and powers her way up and hauls herself over the edge and starts helping out with setting up the pythons and whatnot.
Okay. I'll just leave this to you then.
Okay. All right. So you are now here, in that section. So now the people down below, Malik and Arcturus, you can just see the feet of your friends.
And you guys are gonna throw us a rope that's attached by a python, so we
I
can.
believe that is the game plan. Yes.
Okay. So you want to
Clamber.
just nail a python into the floor, or
I think that's the plan. Little
Okay.
Fox is the one directing this particular effort.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we can just hammer it into the floor. Probably only need one with little fox holding the other end to make this work.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, I presume you nail it in and then you let it drop down into the pit.
Yeah, well,
Because if you throw it to them, they're gonna jump and just slam into the wall.
well, what they could do is they could hammer it down and make the rope taut and then climb along it, or they would have to go.
I mean,
down
just
into
float
the pit
down
and
into the
climb straight
pit
up.
and then climb
Yeah,
back up.
because if it's taut across there, the climbing up, it's gonna be actually harder than just using the wall to brace your
using
feet.
the wall to brace your feet. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yep,
can do
we'll
that.
float down and then
So-
climb up.
I just jump.
You just jump.
You go first.
Yeah, he like gestures to you and like while still looking at you, just steps off it. Not even looking where he's going.
And you just like float laterally and then bump into the wall and slide down.
This is okay. And Arcturus, like I think, like shimmies to the edge, like holds himself like on the side, and then like squeaks like down. He doesn't trust the like just.
As you're kind of like at the edge, about to step off, you hear a noise behind you. You hear this like, and Sharp just pushes you off the edge, and you drift gently to the floor, and you look up, and Sharp has his big blue head poked over the edge, like looking down into the pit at you.
Oh, how that creature wanted to kill me, I swear.
Yeah.
Ishi is just like, you can just hear her chuckling. Or not Ishi, sorry, Little Fox. Yeah, you can just hear her chuckling. Keep doing that. It's really bad.
Okay, so the two of you are gonna climb up.
Yeah.
Okay, which means that Little Fox and Ishi, you need to back up and give them some space.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, here's the thing, Adam. I do not back up without checking the floor as I go. Little Fox is now hella paranoid about falling into a pit again, so she's just like sliding her feet out and like gently testing and then like shifting her away.
Yeah,
and,
make a perception check.
Ishi doesn't check at all because if there was a pit just before us, there can't possibly be another one right away. That would be
Of course,
silly.
that'd be ridiculous.
That's bad
that would
dungeon
be
building.
absurd.
Okay,
I get a 17.
You do not notice, and I think this is as Malik is like getting pulled up, because I gotta make a check for Malik as well. Okay, unfortunately, Malik is the one that gets hit with this, but you notice that in the walls, in all four kind of sections of the walls, so like directly to the top and bottom walls of you, so like there and there, hidden partly by the cobwebs, there are thin like slits in the walls, and when Malik reaches and pulls himself up by the rope, he puts his foot down on the floor, and there's a faint click. Malik, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please. Oh, and actually Arcturus too, because it triggers both sides, and you're standing in the way. Arcturus,
You're gonna get me killed.
you can have advantage on yours, Arcturus.
It doesn't matter. My dex is the worst.
Okay, so you both fail.
Good.
So
Wow.
Well, you rolled bad. So you both take 20 damage as
I want to reroll.
yeah, scything blades start shooting out of the walls. And
Wait, so the reroll only counts for Dave's damage. I have to take the full.
No, I'm going to reroll the save.
Dave's rolling the save.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Little Fox, you and Ishi, you can see. Oh.
Good job.
All right. So there's just blades that scythe out of the walls and slash at you. You notice that there is another blade trap just like it on this side that by some miracle hasn't been triggered. What are you going to do?
Wait, that's 20 damage.
20 damage.
20.
I just go down. I just go fucking straight down.
Okay, so a blade plunk, hits Malik and falls to the ground. Welcome to Sen's Fortress, Malik. I guess does that get rid of the...
Stands up. He gets up to the top. Here's the thing. And he just goes, you two are completely useless.
Medic. And yeah, so you drop. And Little Fox, I think you're probably like about to be like, heh, and then...
Yeah, he just gets bladed.
Yeah.
You guys were just standing there and you just...
So Malik is
It's
lying...
incredible that Little Fox did not trigger this because she's like a 300-pound, 8-foot-tall person.
I rolled 4 times for the two of you, and then once each for Arcturus and Malik, and the only person that triggered it was Malik.
And I still got 20 damage.
Yeah, well, because it triggers both sides. The blades come out. Your collateral damage.
Right, it's
So
trapped.
here's the thing. All right.
Right.
So you spare the dying, which means Malik won't gush to death. There's blood in it. You stop it. So Malik is just lying there unconscious. If you don't give him any hit points, Malik will continue to lie there unconscious for... Oh, you got it already? Okay, for an hour. Little Fox and Ishi, you realize you've just basically stood on a mine, right? Like, there is a chance that even the slightest movement will trigger the trap that you are standing on. Plus, the blades have slid back into the walls where they are, and same thing, if they move, the blades might pop out again. So what are you all going to do? You're just like standing.
I want to leave.
We're still under this spell
Why are we
of
here?
slow fall.
I believe Featherfall lasts the time no matter whether the cast... Because it's not concentration, right?
It was a spell scroll, wasn't it?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Scrolls don't require concentration, do they?
No.
No, it's not concentration. You're correct. You have another, like, maybe 30 seconds.
So, do I climb?
I just have a quick question in terms of like, I actually wasn't here when we decided to go into this. My dog was sick. Why are we in here?
Because you're adventurers. There's adventure to be had.
Was there a reason why we wanted to go in this place?
Because the crocodile god demands it.
I love that this conversation is happening in character. Like, wait a second, why did we come in here again? And like that whole tense, like you stepped on a mine, and instead of being like, how are we gonna figure this out? Arcturus is the one being like, why did you step on the mine?
It's because the story and the crocodile and the statue.
Yeah, and it's worth our lives. I would rather go back down the river and find the cure to this stupid death curse instead of actually dying.
If you can't survive a couple of traps, what makes you think you're going to be able to survive the cure to the death curse?
You say being completely fine?
By the entrance,
because I'm good at this.
By the entrance, you hear, albeit a little distant.
Does that bird fly?
And Little Fox shakes her head.
Okay,
get us out of here. This is not safe.
So Ishi,
and Malik and I are both close to death.
Ishi, behind you, there is what you first took to be a wall, but is actually a stone door or partition. And it looks like you could like move it. You could slide it into the wall. It has a faint, very faded like grid sort of pattern on it.
Okay, I understand that you're like angry and you're hurt and Malik's hurt. I can see that.
Isn't your job to protect us?
Shut up for a second. We're all standing on death.
It's true.
You're standing on it. I nearly succumbed to it.
You're still standing on it. Like, so if we move, the thing might go off again. Who knows how it works? I don't. Malik stepped on it. Look around by your feet. Make sure you're not standing on a switch where if you lift your foot, you're gonna die a horrible bladey stab death that I can't save you from. I know you want to leave. I want to leave too. We're stuck here.
This is horrible.
So my thought, as you know, knowing a little thing or two about traps, is if we keep going, there will be somewhere further along that has less traps, hopefully.
And Little Fox just shakes her head and says, "No, more traps." And like points at the place on.
If you don't already have inspiration, that was an inspired speech.
I
Thank
do.
you.
I do.
So I think what's going to happen here
Uh-huh.
is that Little Fox is going to take matters into her own hands.
Mhm.
Because everyone's panicking, and she's just like, "It's fine, whatever. It's some swords."
Not fine.
And so she just kicks Malik off the ledge, right? Because we still got the slow fall.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I forgot about that.
She just punts him, throws Ishi, and then shoves Arcturus. Like she just pushes everyone off the thing.
Okay, I think all your shuffling around will potentially trigger the thing. Okay, it doesn't. You're lucky. So I love this. You just put your boot on Malik and just push him off these, and he just drifts, just gently. Bloop.
We're just gonna do a full reset on this bullshit.
You huck Ishi off the edge, and then give Malik a shove. Okay.
So
Yeah,
there's
just
still a
like
python-
bodily
there's
throw her.
Yep.
There's still a python on the floor with a rope, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we can
Okay,
reset
so-
on this
So
bullshit.
you just pick me up and throw me? Okay.
Yeah, it's literally just like you feel yourself lifted by the straps of your bag off the ground.
No, I
and then
mean,
just
obviously, if anybody wants to, any conscious character wants to resist being tossed around, you're
yeah,
welcome.
you don't have to
do
let
so.
me do it, but this is her plan. Is
Yeah.
just be like, just everyone off the thing,
no, I'm
and then
totally
I'll deal with it
like,
because
tumble over the edge. It's fine.
I have a crap load of HP and I have danger sense, so I can try to like figure this crap out, and then we can come back up. And in the meantime, you can like prevent Malik from dying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of spells left, friends. We didn't
Or maybe
rest.
we need to go back and rest before we go into the horrible trap gauntlet.
You know where a good place to rest would be? The bottom of this pit.
So I'm gonna try to figure out this situation here with the sliding thing. I want to do it without moving my feet so that I don't,
Okay.
trigger this trap again. But
Sure.
I'm gonna try to move this partition.
Okay.
So she's gonna like put out a hand and like feel it and try to gauge like its weight.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
then
you
see if she can move it.
can feel it. It's a little like sticky, but it seems to be like on rollers or something, and you can like slide out of the way just by twisting it at the waist.
Yeah,
Um,
and I just want to get a little bit of it open so I can look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I'm feeling cautious.
Now, do you have
here.
dark vision?
Negative?
Okay, so there's light coming in from outside, right? So you can see. Yeah, I think you can see about as far in. There's a wall at the back. So bear with me a second. So the floor ahead of you. So as you slide it open, the floor ahead of you has a 4x4 grid carved into it. It seems to be one big piece of stone with this grid carved into it. At the back, there is another sliding partition, or it's the same pattern as the partition, but it's actually built into the wall. And then there's another level above it, but you can't see. You're not tall enough to see. Like you look up and you can see there's a gap, but you can't quite see what's on the other side.
Okay. So presumably this is another trap. Looking at it, it's just a different kind of trap.
Yeah,
More
a trap or a
complicated
puzzle or some other dungeon
Yeah.
horse shit.
one. Yeah, exactly. So she's just like, and like leaves the thing slightly ajar, and then I'm just gonna do a standing leap over the 10 feet or the whatever 5-foot section, 10-foot section.
From where you are, like leap over this and into the pit.
Off the cliff into the pit.
Do you warn
Yeah.
someone to move Malik first? I guess you have a minute while you're drifting.
Yeah, I
down.
can float down. I figure if I'm slow
Hey,
falling,
what's
I have enough momentum. I might even just go to the other lip where Sharp is.
Can you jump? I mean, can you jump 20 feet?
Well, no, but okay. So I know that slow fall doesn't specify this in the thing, but you got to think about like, if I jump and I have lateral movement, but I'm slowing, my vertical movement is reduced, then I will go further
I mean,
laterally.
It's feather fall, right, Dave?
Don't I just
do
drift?
that much.
Choose up to 5 creatures. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round. So you're not.
Oh, so you're still falling pretty.
You're
quick,
falling
then.
fast. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like a gentle drift. It's just like you don't. You'll
This is
fall like when you
non-lethal.
push Malik off the edge. If you were awake, it would hurt. It just wouldn't deal him any damage or anything. It's just kind of like a bonk.
Okay, cool. No, that's good. Okay, well then, yeah, I will.
But you can jump over.
I'll just jump over and jump down. Yeah.
Okay, let me.
And if I see Malik there, I'll try to like push myself.
Okay. So when you crouch down, your leap into the air does indeed trigger the trap. But you have danger sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. So make a save. Make a dexterity save.
With advantage.
Wait, you're coming down here? I thought you were trying to figure the thing out. Did you figure it out?
So you take half of 19.
Okay, so I take, what would that be? 9 damage? 10 damage?
Yep.
So yeah, she gets all tore up by some scything blades on her way through.
Yeah.
And then crashes into the pit.
There you go. All right. So the spell from the scroll has now completed. You've gotten your money's worth, and you're at the bottom of this dingy hole. And there's an axe beak poking his head over the edge, just kind of like watching, like, look at everybody jumping around, being funny.
Yeah, and Little Fox just like sighs and like gets up because she like crashed into the pit and like fell on her butt and just like dusts herself off and just says, more traps.
Okay, so but here's the thing. If there are this many traps, there has to be something worth trapping your way to at the end of the traps.
Why don't we just find the way that the people who made the traps got in without dealing with the traps?
Well, they know where the traps are, so they just step over them and stuff.
It seemed to you, Little Fox, that the floor was like it was pressure. I mean, you're not a mechanic, you're not an engineer, but it's not about specific
about where you
locations.
step,
Like
it's
the whole
about
thing
the
seemed to be
pressure of
sitting
it.
on some kind of like pressure sensor, right?
Yeah.
So like the amount of weight or the way the weight is distributed or something like that probably had something to do with how it was triggering.
Yeah.
I really wish you were.
But I'm a
working for that.
barbarian.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, what's your intelligence?
I'm actually real smart. I got
There you go.
intelligence 14.
So there you go. I mean, the thing is, you have survival too, so you know about setting snares and like you can figure. You have a pretty good
She
understanding.
has
of,
her own kind of metaphor.
You
for
have a
what
pretty
this
good
is like,
understanding of the
yeah.
physical world, right? Of physics and like how things fall when you drop them and how pushing on one thing can push another thing up. Like you're not stupid.
Yeah,
you just don't
that's
have the engineering knowledge to know how to make a trap like this. But you could tell because it was for Malik, it was pushing down. For you, it was moving. And the way the floor
jump.
was balanced seemed to be the thing.
What if we just blew up all the traps?
Yeah, and she like hefts her hammer, kind of like nods, like,
Do you have
Praising
several
that idea.
days to watch Little Fox take apart masonry?
I was more suggesting magic, but also hammers.
Good work, I guess.
and yeah, Little Fox has also been. So I didn't get to hear the story, right?
I can't remember who was there. Malik and Ishi.
It was me and Malik.
Yeah.
I think
It
it
was
was
just
those
those
two.
two.
But like me, the player, I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, so the story probably has something to do with it. And so
Would you like a review of the story?
I would love to hear the
Would
story.
you like to hear the
again.
story again? All right, everybody.
Because there's like a couple phases
Okay.
to it, right? It's about the
I have a quick
crocodile.
question. Are we going to be taking a rest or not? Because if we're not, then I should wake up Dave.
Oh well, I think we're all gonna do. I think we need to do like a long rest. Even
Yeah.
this
I mean, I will say this. This will be an uncomfortable place to rest. Because if you rest down here, like, you're in a little pit. You're literally in a pit.
No. We're not gonna take our long rest right here. We're gonna go out to the foot of the statue and rest.
Ishi, do you want to tell the story? You remember it. I'll post it for you. If you want to tell it.
So there was a thing that I think Malik told me. Did you tell me this, Dave, in character?
Yeah, the two of you work together to remember it.
So here's how it goes. So in the early days of man, in the early days of the world, man stood by the banks of a river, frightened. The crocodile raised his head from the water and he asked, "What troubles you, cousin man?" And the man said, "I must cross this river, but I fear to enter the water alone because it teems with your brethren." The crocodile replied, "It's true, you wouldn't be safe, but I will carry you across the river safely on my back. And if you promise to return the favor, man, if you promise to return the favor, anyway." He agreed anyway, and the crocodile took him safely across the water. When they reached the far side, the man asked, "Well, how can I repay you?" And the crocodile said, "I wish to see the realm of humans, but I fear to go there alone, because it teems with your brethren. You must carry me on your back across your realm." The man had been tricked. But a promise is a promise. And so he carried the crocodile safely on his back across the entire realm of humans, a journey that lasted many years. He also swore, in his anger, that never again would men and crocodiles be friends. And so has it remained to this day. That's the story.
Yep. That is indeed the story. Thank you, Ishi.
And the little fox is kind of like nodding to the story, like, that's why I couldn't be friends with those crocodiles. Like, she's just like noting for later. Crocodiles cursed. Okay, good to know.
Definitely. So what? You think we gotta ferry each other on our backs? Because I don't think I can carry you. And I'm the most crocodile-y one. Wait, that means you have to carry me.
Yeah, and like little fox looks at you and just shrugs, like, "I carry you lots."
That's true.
Hard carry.
Very. And then just like makes a point of showing how small you are. It's just like it diagrams it with her hands in this awkward way where you're just like, "Yeah, I know." And she's like,
"You don't need to tell me. I know. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, so are we getting out of this pit?"
I mean, yeah, little fox will climb over the thing because it's not very big of a leap for her, and then
it's a 10-foot climb or a 20-foot climb. The pit's deep, right?
Oh, it's 20 feet.
Yeah.
Right? Well, anyways,
you all fell in 20
feet. Can I make
feet.
a check to climb it?
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Okay.
I mean, really, we don't need to because it just takes a few times. Like, eventually, you'll get the check.
Yeah.
There's no time pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Getting Malik out of the pit will be very difficult, though. Getting an unconscious man up out of a
Or
pit.
just tie a rope around
I
him.
mean, if we're gonna
Just
take
tie a
a
rope around his feet.
if we're gonna take a
lift it.
rest anyway, I can use a spell to heal him enough to do it himself.
Probably what you should do.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets the heals and then he climbs his own ass out of the pit.
Climb your own ass out of the pit. Like I like heal you and I watch you like come out of unconsciousness and then I say, "Get out of the pit." Just like right as you wake up from the sleep.
Welcome back from the land of the dead. Climb this pit.
Hey, so Malik, turns out there's swords from the walls up there.
Yeah, Malik, you remember, you vaguely remember the swords coming out of the walls.
Yes, I remember those.
I'm still
I
like
remember the fact that I
bleeding.
was not warned of these, despite you standing up there for multiple. You know what? Doesn't matter.
The
Heavy.
little
doesn't
fox is
matter.
just like shaking her head like, "No swords till you came up. You made
There
the
weren't any swords there at all. I didn't see it.
You know, Blue Jay, I'm surprised that you didn't make Dave say please before you healed him.
I said nothing.
Hey.
I'll
I'm gonna
just die.
leave this
I'll
call
just reroll.
and never come back.
All right. So
Okay,
does
so
everybody
everyone climbs out of the
Everybody
pit.
climbs out of the pit.
Get out of the pit, y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
out of
Yeah,
the pit.
I climb out of the pit.
All right, everybody's out of the pit. Go ahead.
We're gonna make our camp at the foot of this spoopy crocodile god statue, and we're gonna keep careful watch because there were cannibals previously.
Okay.
They're worried about this.
So as you're setting up camp, Sharp comes over to you, little fox, like bonks you a little bit with his head, and then like looks towards the jungle, like off to the north.
Yeah, and she like nods.
And you hear off in the distance, you hear like, and Sharp like nudges you again and kind of like nervously like pats back and forth on his little bird feet.
Yeah, and she like, like scratches him behind his, not his ear, but his little corner of his skull where he can get at. And she'll pull a little like trinket off of her various things and like tie a little leather cord around his neck. So Sharp has it's like a little stone kind of arrowheady type deal.
Yeah, I think there's like a puddle of puddle of rainwater nearby, and Sharp like looks at it in the puddle and kind of just like
something to remember us by, okay? And I like give him a little scritch.
Yeah, and he bonks you a couple of times with his beak and makes a loud like noise, and then you can hear in the distance like and then and then Sharp runs off into the jungle.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I probably like in the course of doing that too, like give one last check on his little broken leg.
Yeah, he's doing
he's
great.
He's good, and
yeah,
send him on his way.
He runs off into the jungle.
Bird boy.
Creepy giant bird. I'm glad it's gone.
Later, like we won't see Sharp for many episodes, and then right in the like final boss fight, we'll be like, "Oh, how are we gonna beat this? We need to like run really fast around this thing. If only I could."
Oh my god, it's the like JRPG ending where at the last boss you get to do summons of all of the NPCs you've helped.
Wasn't that also the last episode of Critical Role?
Yeah, pretty much, exactly.
They totally did that, yeah.
Yeah, so there's gonna be that kind of nonsense later.
But
yeah, little fox just like nods like she's done a good thing this day, and goes back to like cooking gross porridge or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever
I have
bullshit
two
we
hit points. I'm not fishing.
You're cooking gross porridge? That's my favorite.
eat. Yeah, a little camp stew.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna try to make camp here?
Yeah.
I suppose we are.
Mm.
All right. Give me 1 second. Just gonna check some stuff.
You're good.
To
I
see what
like the sound of
happens.
that.
Yeah, I know, right? You never want the GM to be like, just hang on a second. I gotta like look at some stuff. Give me a second here. I have to consult.
Or are those
I'll make
tokens
sure that I
have
don't
for-
adjust my spells.
Yeah, let me just copy and paste something here for no reason at all. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. So you settle in. Do you light a fire, or like is it literally just at the feet of the statue?
Yeah, so like tucked away a little bit so it's not casting as much light out into the jungle. We'll set up the fire on the little bit of stone, kind of where Arcturus is standing.
Are we not concerned about the fire that was going when we got here?
It's like it's out now. Like
I mean, but like there was.
There
I
was.
mean,
that was camping.
Yeah, there was. But if they got through all the traps, then
Or
gotta
if
come
they're
back
just
out.
out in the jungle hunting and they come back, we'll just murder them. It's fine.
Or just talk
Little
to
Fox
them.
doesn't seem to care. Like she's just setting up camp.
Did you
tucked away
just
in this
say
thing.
we talked to them? Do you remember how that went last time I tried to talk to a thing? And now you're offering to do the talking? Yeah, all right,
Wait.
fine. You do yourself.
Malik, I don't think you're quite recovered from your near-death experience. Perhaps you should rest.
Yes, probably.
when I talk about talking to things, I mean like, flaming fist guys or like rangers or like villagers. I don't mean like creepy hags that are going to eat us. I don't know how many times I have to go over this.
They had plenty of food. They were offering to share.
Okay, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, and Little Fox will take first watch.
Okay. All right. Little Fox. Cool. Let me just take a quick look at your character sheet for no reason at all. It's totally totally. And
What's your passive perception, little fox?
13.
Wonder.
Yeah, apropos of nothing.
apropos of nothing at all. Okay. So I think it gets dark. You know, night falls in the jungle. You begin your rest. And about like an hour or so in to the evening settling in, you're sitting there, little fox, while your friends are all cuddled up in their bedrolls. You're sitting on the edge of the statue, listening to the sounds of the river, kind of like washing maybe the boats that you pulled in. Maybe that you can hear the water lapping against the edge of them. And somewhere off to the north, you hear a sound. And at first, it's hard to differentiate it from the kind of regular animal sounds. But your little furbo gears perk up, and a few minutes later, you hear the sound again.
Yeah, I definitely shake Ishi
Mm-hmm.
awake.
Something. What's going on?
And then just like clamp her mouth shut so she can't talk so that she'll listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wait for the sound again.
Yeah, let's have the two of you, or well, let's have one of you make a perception check with advantage.
Okay, I'll roll it. So I get a 15, Adam.
Okay. Little fox, you hear at first, again, it sounds like a low kind of like humming sound, but it's not like one long humming sound. It seems to be broken up and it's fluctuating in pitch. And then you realize that it's actually like a low, like rumbling song. It's just a single voice, this low, like grumbly voice. And it sounds like you can barely make out words. And it sounds weirdly, like vaguely familiar, but you're not sure like why you know it, or where you've heard it before.
And does it sound like it's close?
Hard to say.
It sounds familiar. Is there like a check I can make to see if I remember what this is, or was
You
that
can make
what
like
my
a wisdom
perception
save.
check covered? Okay, yeah, let's make a wisdom save.
Oof. No. No.
Can't quite place it, huh?
So yeah, you just hear it, and it seems to be getting louder. Like it's definitely louder now because you can make out the tune, if not the words.
So do you want me to just stay awake with you here until whatever this is goes away?
And Little
Wait, the
Fox will
others?
just say, you go hide. Get behind it.
Sure thing. And then
I'll let it see me.
I
And then she
start-
like stands up and starts like moving towards the sound. Yeah.
Okay.
Where can I hide? There's a tent over here. I'm gonna go in there.
Go in the tent.
Yeah.
You get attacked by cobras.
God fucking cobras!
Just kidding. Roll stealth.
Fucking cobras everywhere. All
Yeah,
right,
seriously,
I'll go.
just hella cobras. Actually, that's
Just
what's
like-
coming towards you is just like a giant nest of
Just
cobras.
like- just making a low rumbling
Yeah,
sound.
there's so many of them.
There's just so many cobras.
Nice. Okay, so you're hidden in that tent. All right. So the it gets louder. The song, and it's accompanied by an occasional like thumping sound, and then some splashing sounds, and you just hear this like hum, 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 and this, and it's like it seems like it's a thump and then a splash, and they're in like regular like thump, thump, and this like low humming sound.
Yeah, and I'm gonna walk out, and in an unusually loud voice for Little Fox, just be like, "Who's that?"
Okay, where do you go?
And I just walk out to the corner of this thing
And just shout, "Who's that?"
and say like, not shout, but say very loudly, like, "Who's
Loud
that?"
enough you think that it would wake Malik and Arcturus?
Yeah, they'll be able to hear
Okay,
me.
Malik
for
and
sure.
Arcturus, you wake up to the sound of Little Fox. And you see Little Fox standing at the edge of the little foot, like, who's there?
I'm definitely holding a very large hammer.
Quick question. Do my hit points recover at the end of a long rest?
Yes, no one has recovered anything yet.
Got it.
No recoveries.
which is why I'm trying to shelter y'all from this potential danger.
And after the shout, like no one seems to respond to the shout, but then you can hear it, that like and it's like, and it's getting louder too.
Can I make some kind of check to see if I recognize the noises?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look at your character sheet for a second. No, you cannot.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't. You have no context for this.
So it sounds like something really big is humming in a deep voice and carrying a large object full of water or something.
Maybe.
Putting it down occasionally.
It's too like rhythmic for that. But maybe.
Yeah, I'm getting like a weird feeling about this.
Uh-huh. Malik, what do you do when you wake up?
It's a bag man.
I don't. And he like peeks around to look at the others and sees like Ishi's like hiding.
I mean, you don't see Ishii anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has Ishi gone to scout her out? Find out what we're dealing with here?
Yeah, and she just like turns back and says, yes.
Okay, let's wait and see what she says. The rest of us should
So,
hide.
Ishii, have you actually gone to scout it out? Or you're just hiding in a tent right now?
I mean, you told me to get behind it, not go scout it. So I'm just waiting for the ambush.
All right, so
But I guess I would have heard
Okay.
you say that I was supposed to be scouting it.
you hear that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So Little Fox is gonna walk out to the tents here.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the tents here?
They're pretty tall, so they block your view. But if you go a
Yeah.
little further up, you might be able to see past, because most of those ones up there are broken.
And she is going to just try saying like hello in all the languages she knows. So in Elven, Giant, she's already said Common. She'll also try in Sylvan.
And you're saying this as you're from where you're standing?
Yeah, like as I'm walking.
Okay.
along.
Yeah, I don't think it's either too far away or just ignoring you or whatever.
And so yeah, I will walk all the way out here till I can try to see it.
Right. So you approach the edge of the tent, and as you come around the corner and look north, it's quite dark still, right? Like we've got some moonlight, some starlight. There's lots of cloud because this is the jungle. You start to look around the corner, and before we reveal what it is, let's take a break.
Yeah.
And when we get back, we will find out what it is that's come rumbling towards our players. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's time for a little more of that. Roll20 presents Tomb of Annihilation. A great sound has been heard. A splashing and the lumbering, the humming and the singing. And it has interrupted our players in their mid-rest. And so you reach the edge of one of the ruined tents and peer your little furbolg head around the corner. And you see, limned by what little light there is, walking along the edge of the water, an enormous shape. Enormous. Humanoid, a large head, 2 big arms, 2 legs, a torso. It's not wearing much, maybe a big old loincloth. God, how tall is this thing? 30 feet? Maybe a little more? And you can't make out any more detail because it's dark, right? It's hella dark. And so you just hear this thing. And what's happening is that every other step, it's walking with 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the land, and it's just kind of splashing along with one leg and walking on the land with the other. And it's like humming to itself as it walks. You can't make out any other details of this giant, except that I suppose it's carrying a tree, a big old tree that's had all the branches broken off of it to serve as a club, and has a bag slung over its shoulder, and it's just kind of singing to itself like,
It is a bag, man.
and it's like sloshing along. And you poke your head out, and it stops, and it turns its body towards you, and in a deep rumbling voice, in the language of giants, it says, "Ho! Look at that little thing," and takes a step up onto the shore. And I think here, let's pop over. I'll show you its token as it comes closer. I think it steps up onto the shore and crushes one of the tents with a enormous cyclopean foot. So just like smushes the tent. Yeah. And he looks down at you, and you can see the moon and the stars reflecting in his enormous singular eye. And he looks down and he says, "Well, what have we here?" Everyone else, you hear this thing come out and just be like, "Brrr," and this like horrible rumbling language that you can feel in your bones, even from, shit, how far away are you? Like 50 feet away. You can feel the deep bass of its voice, like shaking your guts.
I ready my crossbow.
Does it sound similar to like Earth primordial language?
Giant probably evolved from Earth primordial, but not in a way that you can speak it.
Well, I'm definitely like listening for the similarities, though. Like this is a like, oh, that's scary, but also interesting. I'm not gonna go anywhere near it. I have 2 hit points.
And it looks down at the tent that it's crushed, and it looks up at you, little fox, and says, "Huh, was this yours?" And like kicks its foot to kind of get the mushed up tent off of it. What do you do, little fox?
Oh, I'm muted. Huh. Little Fox just says, "No, not mine. I live in the jungle."
And it squints at you with its one eye and says, "Live in the jungle, eh? And it takes another step towards you.
Yeah, and I'm just like looking for food, but none here. What are you doing?
He says, "Oh, just taking a walk. I do so love the moonlight." And he turns and looks up at the moon. He says, "Looks like a great big yellow eye, don't you think?" And he like,
Yeah, and she just
boom, drops his club on the ground and like leans on it and like looks up at the sky.
Yeah, and she nods and says, "Yes, yes, like the eye of some great creature there."
And he nods. "Precisely my thinking." And he squints at you, and he says, "What sort of a thing are you? And takes another step forward.
Yeah, and she just says, Furbolg.
Furbolg, is it? Haven't seen one of those before. Link squints down at you.
We're from far away.
And he nods and he says, "You're taller than you looked from a distance, little thing."
We're tricksy like that, Furbolgs.
And he looks back this way. Malik, maybe you notice his body language as he starts to turn his body. Arcturus, you're kind of hidden because you're like...
I'm
couched.
definitely hiding. I'm just like...
All right, Arcturus, make a stealth check with advantage.
Okay.
You don't have your armor on, so you're making it normally.
Oh, okay. I don't have great
But
dex
with advantage,
anyway.
because you...
Okay.
Okay, all right, so you got an 18. That's fine.
Yeah, I was behind the foot of the thing, like probably doing the whole like, that sounds interesting. Oh, it also sounds really big and dangerous.
Malik, what are you gonna do as he's like, and like starts to look back in your direction?
I don't have my pack, so I just... Yeah, Malik's not above this. He like kneels down and kind of does the hope praying thing.
So you prostrate yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So big.
he sees this thing and he's like, you hear him rumble this to you, little fox. "Oh, what's that? Another one!" And he starts walking this way and he just crushes this tent and continues towards Malik.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get his attention
Okay.
and just be like, "That's not another one. That's a different thing."
Okay, make a persuade check because you want to stop him because he's definitely gonna smush Ishi. And Ishi, you hear
don't
the
smush my
footsteps, and I
friend.
think there's like holes in the tent so you can peer out. You see him coming.
Okay, so I make a persuade check. I'm gonna
If he looks like he's gonna
spend
step this way,
inspiration
I
here.
run. By the way, I'm not gonna like stand in the tent as he smushes it.
But I will try to distract him for
Mhm.
Ishi.
Yeah,
So,
to let Ishi stay hidden.
with advantage, I get a 17
Okay. Why do you have advantage?
because I spent my
Oh, you used your inspiration. Okay, so he's like, "What's this?" and starts walking over, and Malik like throws himself down on the thing, and he stops. You say, "That's a different thing."
Yeah,
He
like, that's a
turns.
different thing, not a Furbolg.
He turns and he sniffs the air and he says, "Well, what's this one then?" Ishi, do you want to sneak out of that tent? Okay, where do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the next tent.
Okay. So here's the thing about the next tent, Ishi.
There's a cobra in it, right?
Well, not a cobra. So in it, I'm gonna say that
I checked all these tents the last time.
you did it this morning. So the thing is, so you come around the corner and you jump into the tent, and peering through the tent, you see another creature. It's about your size. It has kind of rust-colored skin. It's not a kobold though.
Okay.
It's wearing like leather, I think leather armor. Yeah, it's wearing leather armor, and there's a tall oval-shaped shield and a scimitar lying next to it. But it's
Okay.
currently got its face pressed up against the edge of the tent, peering out at the giant. And you come around the corner, you pop into the tent, and it's just like staring
So
out at the
it's-
tent. It doesn't
it's
see or hear
looking
you.
Out at the Cyclops?
Yeah, it's looking out at the Cyclops outside.
Okay. I'm still hidden, right?
Yes, yeah.
I continue to hide.
So you're just like standing behind it, or do you want to leave the tent?
I just.
So what are you doing?
Just try the next tent.
Next
Next
tent.
tent, yeah.
Okay, this one is unoccupied. Yes.
Just like, oh, this one's taken. Okay, I'll go to the next one.
Okie dokie. All right, and then I'll move to the far side and basically do what this other
Cut a hole
creature
in
is
it.
doing, but
Two
in the
little eye
tent
holes.
on the
Yeah.
other side, yeah.
All right.
And so yeah, Little Fox is doing the thing where she's trying to like keep its attention and move in a way where like when people are talking, they tend to maintain a certain distance. So she's
Mhm.
just kind of like subtly trying to like pull it away so that it's not, because I can't see Ishi or where she's gotten to. I just knew she was in the tent. And so I'm like, oh yeah, we'll just get into a debate about what a thing is. We'll play this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, she'll just say, don't you know what that is? Have you seen one before?
The Cyclops says, well, it looks like a man, but isn't the right color. And he looks over at Malik. He says, but I can hardly see its little face. Let's see your little face, man. And he like turns, like looks over his shoulder at you.
This is in giant.
Yes. So you don't understand any of that.
I mean, as he sees the thing turn towards him, he's like glances up, and it looks at him, and he,
yeah, Little Fox is going to keep talking.
Kind of stands up, and he's like,
and he looks, and he squints, and he says, aha, just as I said, looks like a man, but not quite the right color. What's wrong, little man? Did they take you out of the oven before you were done? Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, and Little Fox is like, he's not finished. Half cooked, like you say. Can't even speak.
And you say that in giant.
Yeah, right? Like he can't speak properly, I think.
And he shakes his head and he says, well, of course he can't. It's a wonder any of you can speak at all with your tiny little brains. And he starts looking around and he says, I haven't been down this way in some time. Used to be crawling with men. But now, anything to eat around here. And he uses his club, and none of you saw Ishii run out of that tent, and he uses his club and he just swipes the tent with it, and debris goes flying, and the tent gets caught up on the end of the club, and he looks, and he's all disappointed. He's like, thumps the club on his shoulder, and he's like, abandoned, I think.
No one here, like I said.
Ishii just doing the kobold equivalent of sweating bullets in like the tent.
Yep.
If Arcturus had known Giant enough to hear the Giant insult his intelligence, he would have probably had a problem with it. But he doesn't know Giant, so.
And he takes a step over, and he looks over at you, Little Fox, and he's like, lifts up his club, and he's like, what about this one? And he swings his tit, and this time you all hear this like, ah! And like a crunching sound, and he lifts it up, and like blood and fluids like drip off the bottom, and he shakes it. He's like, got something. And then a goblin body slides off of the end of his club and then splats onto the ground. And he looks at it and he's like, a goblin. And he picks it up and he looks over at you, Little Fox, and he says, this wasn't yours, was it? As he like bites its head off.
Yeah, and she just says, I didn't think you would consider that a meal. This is just a little snack for you.
And he nods and he says, my old grandma used to say, many snacks make a meal. Got any more snacks around here?
Adam, I'm gonna move.
Okay, where are you going to now?
Point of order, the next tent.
Okay. So you run over, and he takes another step, crushing this tent, and he looks at the other one, and he looks back at you, Little Fox, and he says, maybe a little gentler. And he's like jamming the goblin in his mouth. I like it when they're still alive.
And she says, we met some people like that on our way. Or, well, no, she won't say we, she'll say I. I met some people like that on my way here. Out in the jungle. Little triangles on their heads. Have you seen them?
He stops, and he looks at you, and he's like, blue, right here.
Yeah, and she like taps her forehead.
And he nods. He nods, he says, that's a dangerous thing. Keep away from that, Furbolg. And he snaps up the tent, kind of like he's lifting the tray off of a plate. He's like, nothing there this time. And he like uses the tent to wipe his mouth and then flings it into the back.
Well, and so she's going to keep grilling him about like, well, why would you be scared of them or worried about them? I should say, not scared, certainly.
And he says, well, you have to be aware of the territory. Everybody marks their territory different. And he takes a step sideways and smushes this tent, and he says, he's like, that blue thing, what did you call it? A tree angel? Shakes his head. Nope. I steer clear of that one.
Yeah, and so she says, well, you seem like a very nice fellow, and maybe, since we're out in the moonlight, you could tell me where you steer clear of with the triangle.
And he says,
is that around here?
He shakes his head and he says, no, only in the bad parts of the jungle. And he says, deep to the south. Let me see. He's actually from a specific place. Let me take a look at where it's at to give you an idea. Because he's traveling. He travels to and from there.
Yeah, and the little fox is going to try to get a sense of like where his territory is then too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think my follow-up question is like, well, and certainly I wouldn't want to go wherever you mark your territory, which I can see how you might leave a trail and like try to like get him to chuckle at like, yes, you smash things. That's cool. You're such a cool guy.
Yeah. So so what did you ask him?
I'm just like, but how can I make sure I stay out of your territory since you mark it?
He says
she indicates the tents and stuff.
Yeah, he says, everything south of the peaks of flame belong to me.
Wow, just you.
And he nods and he says, don't you believe what that dragon says? All that land is mine.
Oh, I don't understand that. Never mind.
God, this guy's voice is hard to do.
Yeah,
he says, all that land is mine.
And she nods very like somberly and seriously, like, yes, of course.
Dragon
it's very important.
He says, you especially stay clear of the bay. That territory's forbidden.
Wouldn't dream of going there.
He nods and he says, damn right. And he gives you a look. And he's standing, like, literally, you can see his foot right next to your tent, Ishi, like his big hairy foot. And I think this is the foot he was walking around in the water with, so there's like little leeches stuck to it. And he says,
I'm trying to decide whether or not I stab this guy in the toe or not.
He looks at you, little fox, and he says, I'm just on my way there now. He squints. He says, if you weren't so small, I might invite you to join me. But I like my women tough, and you're a bit fragile for me.
Maybe when I'm bigger.
He nods and he says, once you're full grown, head south. Come see me.
And so then she says, so that's your territory down to the south, and you're not there now. So who's keeping an eye on it?
And he looks at you, like a blank stare. Are you trying to get him? Are you trying to convince him to leave?
Yeah, basically like, hey, shouldn't.
Okay.
If you're not there, then maybe something bad's happening there. Maybe you should go there.
Yeah. You're not trying to deceive him. You're just trying to like point out something that he might not have thought of.
Yeah, is this like a wisdom thing?
I think it's just persuasion. I know you're not great at it, but he's also not very smart.
Is it persuasion rooted in wisdom?
No, it's just charisma.
I
know it's a good story. But if someone else has advantage, they can inspiration, they can give it to you, right? They can use theirs.
Ishi, do you want to lend me inspiration so that you don't die to a giant foot?
Sure, I can do that. You can have mine.
Right. Make an ugly truth test. Ob 3.
Here we go with advantage. Ooh, it's good that we had the
Nice.
advantage. I got a 17.
So he stares at you, and he grits his teeth, and you can hear his teeth like grinding.
in place of the gears in his
Mhm.
brain turning over. Yeah.
And he's got his club on his shoulder, and he's got his bag, and he's like, "Oh hell!" And he turns and he takes a couple of steps towards the water, and he looks back at you, Malik, and he says, "Try lying out in the sun for a while. That ought to darken you right up." And he steps into the water, and he lumbers off into the distance.
So we hear him moving away.
Mm-hmm. So after a few minutes, his humming gets quieter and quieter, and the thump splash of him walking in the water slowly recedes into the distance.
I run over to where the gory mess of a goblin was and check to make sure it's not Ishi.
You're like, oh no, and run over.
And
I
yeah,
mean, I
Little
would
Fox
assume
just like
that Little Fox wouldn't allow that to happen, but yeah, I
she
was
just stands there stunned, like sweating, and then like once the giant is a little bit further away, she just like curls up in a ball and cries. Like she's just so upset, just like like so big and horribly scary.
So
like
I'm checking to make sure that this isn't a dead Ishi.
Yeah. So you run over. Make a perception check.
Okay. 23.
Okay, it's definitely not a dead Ishi. If you had failed, that would have been really funny too, because I would have just been like, "Yeah, it is."
Ishi.
it's your little friend.
So you run over to the smushed. I guess it's not even the whole thing. Like he ate most of it. So there's
But
it's like the bottom half
it's
of
probably
a
just
goblin.
like its stuff.
there's a crushed shield. There is a there's a scimitar that's broken in half. And I think you pick up a piece of like a painted wooden mask that has like goblin blood all over it. It's like a shard of a wooden mask.
So,
Ishi, where are you?
so Ishi emerges from like the only remaining tent.
Uh-huh.
He goes like, that was a good thing I wasn't in any of those other tents.
That thing was massive and
It was so close I could have stabbed it right in the toe.
I'm glad you didn't take the same tactics that you did with those hags.
Hmm.
Still,
Well, Little Fox had it well in control.
angry.
So Malik, what are you doing? I see you've moved over to Little.
Yeah, and Little Fox is like fully curled in a ball, hugging her knees to her chest, crying.
So Malik, what are you doing?
Malik goes over. I don't think he touches her, but he says, You did very well getting rid of that creature. It was terrifying. It was huge. I don't think I've ever seen anything that big. And you got rid of it all by yourself. You are certainly paying for your keep on this trip. I'm sorry what I said about earlier, the traps.
Yeah, and it's just like the ugliest, loudest, like crying with the deep inhales, just the, and then just like cry.
No.
And it's like it's
Like,
not
she's
you're not
so-
scared anymore, but it's that like your body just all of a sudden being like,
Yeah.
you can relax now,
Like,
and we're
you
just
get
gonna
to
fall
feel
apart a
all
little.
of the fear that was being bottled up because she just had to be like, no, everything's fine. We're just gonna hold on. Yeah,
Little Fox,
she's just a mess.
Little Fox, are you okay? You're gonna be all right. We made it through the thing. You
Yeah,
did the whole-
when Ishi is close, she just like reaches out and grabs you and just
my
like
God, you're like a
crushes
little
you. And just,
teddy
like,
bear.
hugs. Yeah. Just like, "Ugh."
Oh my god, it's so
There's
good.
this like twisted up, squished Ishi be like, it's okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So she just like hugs you and is like really upset because you almost died like 3 times.
I think that like the way Arcturus would try and comfort you if you would let him would be to like crouch next to you and like reach out to touch like your tears
Oh yeah, you like wipe her tears up. Yeah, she's just like
and
a
then
big
use
squishy teddy bear at this
and
point.
then use the salt water from your tears to like blessings of Estitia.
Mhm.
Aw, yeah. So everyone takes care of Little Fox a little bit. Yeah.
I love
She,
the
like,
idea of
calms
everyone.
down.
Yeah, everyone crouched around Little Fox, being like, "It's okay, it's okay."
And yeah, she like goes back to the campsite and just like goes to sleep. She, like, curls up
Someone
in her
else.
sleep
But yeah, my
pillow.
watch is done.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
done
out.
my watch. I'm
My watch is
sleeping.
ended.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Cool. All right.
Oh, that was so fun. It's
Yeah,
so
that was a good
ridiculous.
one.
Like 30 feet tall. It's so big.
Yeah, huge.
It's so huge. Like that thing.
Huge, huge.
Adam, like that thing could kill all of us in one hit, basically, right? Like
It's real
at the
strong.
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really strong.
No, I gotta wait till I'm a level 20 barbarian and my strength total gets set to 24, and then I
You
can
just
arm wrestle
bench press him,
Cyclops.
you know.
Arm wrestle him.
Then he and I can go on dates.
Yeah,
That would be
he's a big
cute.
boy. Yeah.
Except that he's a horrible person.
I mean, he's not necessarily a horrible person. I tried
He's
to.
just a little bit dumb.
If he, I mean, he didn't attack on sight. He wasn't evil, right? Like,
Just
Well,
hitting
yeah.
on minors, that's all.
well, he has a he's confused about how things that are not giants are. Also, he probably lives alone, right? He's a solitary giant out in the jungle. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a weird life being a giant Cyclops thing.
All right,
When
well,
you're
I
all
guess
grown up, come and hit me up and we'll go on dates.
So you wanna finish your rest?
our rest, yeah.
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so
I'm
finish
so
your rest. So
hurt.
let me give you experience. So for surviving the Cyclops, and for the cannibals that I owe you for before, let me finish.
I owe you some cannibals. Here
Yeah,
you
let me
go.
finish
Yeah.
calculating this here. So let's see. I'll give you. Yeah, this seems good. And then that.
I just imagine him as being like a crazy hermit. He's just crazy jungle hermit Cyclops guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So I have a quick question. In terms of the way that XP has been handled before.
Yeah.
When Little Fox overcame the scorpion by herself, you only gave XP to Little Fox, even though we were all there.
Yeah, you have
else
to be like in danger or like participatory in the scene. So like if the
We
scene
were
is just
all
like
in
a
danger.
single roll, it's usually one person, but like everyone will get experience for the Cyclops because
Yeah, this was a group effort.
it
for
could have
sure.
become a much bigger thing. And everybody made rolls and everyone was a part of the roll. So, y'all get I had it calculated and then I didn't tell you what it was.
Sorry for interrupting.
It's okay.
That goblin.
Now I just want my quest to be to go like hang out with the Cyclops.
Everybody gets 360
That'd be so
experience.
cool.
Cool.
Okay.
360 added to whatever you currently have. So if you'd like, let's take a quick look at the player map of Chult, and you can
Because we just learned a little bit of stuff, right?
yeah. So if you zoom all the way out on the map, you can see that y'all are here near Camp Rageous, way up top. The Peaks of Flame, are some 300 miles to the south. Beyond that, the bay he was referring to could be Snapping Turtle Bay
Or the Cauldron.
the Cauldron, probably one of these somewhere in this area.
Can I draw on this map, Adam?
You can, yeah.
Okay. Just gonna draw a big single eye.
Nice.
This is like Cyclops territory
Mm-hmm.
in the land of ash and smoke. There lives a mighty Cyclops and possibly a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as big as the Cyclops is, I'm not entirely sure that's his territory. Not if he's competing with the dragon, but I'm sure we'll see if we.
If I had been able to understand the word dragon, that conversation would have taken a different turn.
So yes,
He's
the
like,
Peaks.
I'm a dragon.
If I would have understood the giant dissing my intelligence because my brain was small, that would have
And your inability to speak languages as well, which would have
yeah, that
really
would have
ground
been
you
that
up.
would have been bad.
Mhm. So the Peaks of Flame are also home to a red dragon named Tinder, and every
right,
every
Dragon.
goddamn time.
The Cyclops wants to date me, and it
Tinder the
has
dragon
Tinder
is in
in
And
the-
its
has the
territory.
dragon named Tinder next to it.
That's
The dragons in the Peaks of Flame.
that's where that's
Okay,
where
I'll put that on our list.
Cinderlock, or I can't remember what Tinder's full name is, but yeah, something like that.
And I wonder if the two of them have some kind
You
of
want to add
relationship.
the Cyclops to the quest list?
Yeah.
If you want to, I mean, you have a list that you can edit it.
Cyclops, Peaks of Flame.
Mhm.
It's like a notable thing about
Flirting.
the setting at
Flirting
the
is
very least.
definitely the reason why we're going there.
Well,
Definitely
and
flirting.
so part of what I think would be interesting with the Cyclops is that he's not necessarily hostile, as we've established, and so you might be able to go and like get his help with some other problem or something, and he has information because he's lived around here for a long time, presumably, and can walk from Camp Righteous to the Peaks of Flame in like an evening because he's so enormous.
Yeah, I mean he's on a long walk, but yeah, he's a quicken because he's
like maybe he's like a couple days out, but still that would take us like a year to get there.
It'll take you a while to get down there.
That's the really weird thing about T&D. It still will give something that big like 30 feet of move, so he isn't actually faster than us.
Yeah, I mean I figure overland travel is easier for him, but
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it is, but like in a round of combat, he doesn't just go bloop now next to you.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it makes sense.
He moves.
His bit odd.
Limbs are slow and he's kind of cumbersome, I would imagine. But yeah, scary.
You don't get.
I feel like if you're a giant in a world where everything is small, you're constantly dealing with difficult terrain because you're just like stepping on
because you have to walk
trees
through
and everything. There's no clear territory for you to run around in,
and you need to eat so much too, right? Like the amount of volume of stuff that he needs to eat is a problem for him, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So
what's the name of those mountains? The fire.
Rest?
Let's see.
Fire Peak.
Zindalore. That's the name of the dragon.
Yeah, TZI.
Zindalore.
Yeah.
AKA
Nice.
Tinder. All right. So, it takes a bit for your heart to stop pounding, and for the adrenaline to work its way through your system, and then you're exhausted, and then it's just like,
yeah, exactly.
Sleep of the dead.
That whole arc for Little Fox.
And the rest of the night goes by uneventfully. Everyone recovers all their hit points and their spells, and and now you're okay. So,
Hooray!
The next morning, when you wake up, what do you all do?
So we going back in the stabby statue place or what?
I still question the reasoning for going in there in the first place.
Because traps hide stuff that I want, probably.
Well, you didn't do a very good job of detecting the traps, so how were you to know that they were hiding anything at all? You could have stepped right on the thing that they were hiding and not noticed.
Okay, you go first.
No, that's reasonable. If you think that there are things that only you'll be able to see, then by all means take the lead.
Not that only I will be able to see them. I'm merely saying that if you can't see the traps, how are you supposed to see what they're hiding?
Because the thing they're hiding is usually in a room after the trap's in a box that you open, and that has another trap that goes off in your face because you open it too soon and you're a little bit too eager to get at the thing in the box.
Traps are a deeply, powerfully held cultural tradition among kobolds.
Very much so, yeah.
Very, very much so. Overcomplicated, super ornate.
Like Rube Goldberg machine level, like crazy traps.
Like a trap where you step on a trap at the beginning of the dungeon, and by the time you get back to the end of the dungeon, you get hit in the head with a hammer.
So kobolds are trap people.
Oh, yeah.
Kobolds love traps.
They love that.
Would
This is
aspire to
challenge
make
for
traps
you.
like this. Yeah.
You were like, oh, look at all these traps. I have to do this so that I can tell.
Exactly. Like, if I can get through all the traps, that means whatever kobolds made this, because that's Ishi's assumption, whatever kobolds made this aren't as cool as me.
Right.
Because I can get through
God, I
them.
love the idea of like a holiday of kobold trap like festival where you're like you build all these deadly snares and stuff, and whoever can get to the end like wins, essentially gets to be chieftain or something. It's so good.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
And because kobolds are, I mean, I think they even see themselves as expendable. So like hundreds of them die during this festival, but like, it's fine. We can just make some more.
So
So good.
Great.
I love it.
And so Ishi is talking to Arcturus about all the like traps and stuff, and the little fox just says the traps are like the story. If we remember the story, we get through the traps.
Okay.
What story? I didn't hear it. I never got filled in on this story.
The third telling.
Okay. Let me tell you the story again. Okay.
I want to hear the Ishi like short form, the Ishi's notes version of the story.
All right, Ishi's notes version. Okay. So there's a man, and he's on the bank of the river, and the crocodile's like, I can take you across the river and it won't hurt. And the man's like, that sounds like a good deal. What can I do for you? Or I'll pay you back. And then the crocodile's like, okay. So they go over the river. And then at the other side, when he's crossed the river and it's all safe, the man says, okay, so what can I do to repay you? And then the crocodile says, carry me across the whole world because I took you across this one river. It's not really a fair deal, but the man promised that he'd do whatever the crocodile said, so then he has to take him all across the world, and now crocodiles and men hate each other.
So
It's true.
if
do
we
have
are
Inspiration.
if we are more
Also,
hateful
Little Fox,
than
take
other
inspiration for the last scene too. You should both have it charged.
Ugh.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So if we're more hateful or ride on piggybacks, we'll make it through the traps.
Well, I suppose we could see it either way. This is a temple which depicts the act of carrying, but it also has a moral to the story. I think it's about 50-50 which of the two approaches is the best one to take.
I mean,
Would I-
Little Fox is pretty much the weight of 2 grown humans and didn't set off any of the traps.
Right, so it's probably one at a time.
Floor trap felt like a, and she does this like hand thing to be like a tippy thing.
It's like a balance plate. Yeah, okay.
Needs one person, extra people.
So we should go
swords.
2 at a time, is what you're saying.
No.
That Malik and I nearly died
It's true.
doing that.
One or
didn't
two.
She
work.
holds up a big, gnarly finger. Just
And for whoever's going first this time, I've been in places like this before, and this should be useful. And he takes the 10-foot pole and he says, "Keep that in front of you, checking the floor, check the walls for those pressure plates again."
Yeah, there's definitely a moment in the anime of this where you're like, I've done this before. I have something that might help. And it's like flashy background and like just the long pole.
stick.
Ta-da!
it's just like a long.
It's a big
hand
long
up the
stick,
length of this pole.
Yeah, totally.
And it's just like there's no way it could have fit like anywhere in your backpack, but
No.
suddenly you just have it and
Yeah,
have
yeah. The pole gets like a hero shot for sure, all the way like slowly along the length of it as the music plays. Yeah.
For reference, also, this is one of the many possessions that Malik has that I am carrying in my bag.
Yeah.
So he pulls it out of Little Fox's bag.
Yep.
And it's probably like a collapsible one, right? Like it breaks down into 3-foot sections or something.
Yeah.
That's only a 9-foot pole.
It's a meter. It's a meter pole. All right. Don't worry
It's a
about it.
3.3 recurring forever magical pole that's very close, but not exactly 10 feet.
Got it.
Yeah, it's
Ancient
a
tradition.
pole of what's the
It's a
word
thing.
for that when a line is approaches but never reaches?
There's a joke about that in Sorcerer Without Number. You can buy a 3-meter pole.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you have this long stick.
And so Little Fox will volunteer to go like try to run the trap gauntlet.
Okay.
If everyone's cool with that.
So what are you gonna
Yes,
do
it's
first?
A pole of asymptotic connecting.
Yeah.
Where it will travel towards but never reach something.
Right, cool. So you reach
a
for the
curse.
floor with it, and then we just stay here forever, the rest of the
Yeah,
campaign,
just never-
waiting for it to hit the. It's fucking Zeno's paradox, but a pole.
There is.
Oh boy, nerds.
Okay, and so basically, here's how she's going to do it. She's going to get a running start, leap across this 20-foot deep pit, grab the rope that we still have on there,
Mhm.
tightened into the pressure plate above, climb up the rope, walk across the thing, carefully keeping her weight like centered on this tippy plate thing.
Okay.
And then she'll try to. Okay, so we got to think about the story, right? There's the river that's too deep or whatever that the man can't cross, which is the pit, presumably.
Mm.
And then we're getting into the world of men that the crocodile has to ride on the man for. So what do we think this third trap is going to be like? And I think Little Fox is like drawing this all out in the dirt, trying to like
Before you go.
diagram it out and like plan the run.
Okay, so
For how
the
she's
world
gonna get
of
through this stuff.
the part about the world of man is that the crocodile's on the back of the man, right? So, and the man's not happy about it. So maybe if you go in all angry and stuff, and like stomp.
Yeah, and Little Fox's eyes just narrow as you say that. Just,
Yeah, like that.
What
What was
if
the next
I
one?
threw shatter in and just destroyed the floor and the swords?
Yeah, and Little Fox like reaches for her hammer, like, oh, we're doing it that way.
I mean, some people would feel that would be against the rules of
I mean,
the whole...
so Malik, I mean, it's certainly a plan, but like this is an ancient statue, and damaging it. Like you've seen Fish Whip do the nuclear bomb attack before, and it is rough. It will dramatically damage this statue for sure. It'll probably work, but
Fish whip.
It's a good last resort if we don't manage to work out how these are intended to be done.
thanks, Napoleon.
All I'm saying is that if you, and I'm mostly pointing to Ishi and Little Fox, you tell us to go back in there without convincing me that you've taken good care of those swords, I will not be following you.
You haven't listened to me so far, so I don't feel like it's gonna continue to be like.
We died. Nearly. I mean, I didn't die. I was.
Malik was badly hurt.
We died. That's a dramatic overstatement of what happened, but that's fine. I understand. Getting hurt sucks. I get it. We'll make sure. Well, I will do my level best to disable the swords, or at least know how they work, so I can tell you how they work. And if you fuck up, it's your fault.
I'm so confident in your abilities.
Just gotta be less flat-footed. Finned. Whatever.
Whatever you got going on down there. So let's talk about the plan.
Let's parkour our way through this nonsense.
All right.
So I jumped the gap. Presumably, how we get across this pit trap was to like
we've got the ropes
move on all fours on our bellies or some shit, like a crocodile. But we missed our opportunity to do that, and now it's just a pit. So
we've got the rope that leads down to the pit, so you can just climb down the pit.
Yeah, so I can just climb up that. It's easy.
Yep, no problem. You don't have to worry
The
about
next one with the sword thing.
So you're at the bottom. You're at the bottom of the pit. You're at the bottom of the pit. What are you doing?
Yeah, so she's gonna climb the rope.
Yeah.
Up to the top. When I'm at the lip or the corner, because you mentioned there was this whole like tippy pressure plate thing. Little Fox is gonna look at the corner. So
you actually can't. Yeah, looking at it, you can't see any difference. It just looks like floor.
It just looks like floor.
Yeah.
And so she like reaches a finger out and it's like pushes on it while she's hanging down the side and like leans
doesn't
on
seem
it
to do anything.
And I'll pull out one of the little climbing spikes and try to like wedge it in somewhere.
Yeah, there's no edge. Like it just it's a right angle.
It's wild. It's well-made traps. All right, so then she'll just haul herself up.
Okay.
Onto the thing.
Okay.
And there's like the pause of like
your danger sense begins to tingle. Can you make a dex save?
Jeez. Okay.
Okay, you get it. So the blades start flying. You take 11 damage as they like slice past you. You got all these little like cuts bleeding onto the floor. What are you gonna do?
And she like looks back down and just says, like, didn't work, and then keeps going. She's just gonna try to like very carefully with the pole, like poke around on the other set.
Okay, so poking the floor, tapping it, poking on it,
lean on it a bit.
Yeah, no, doesn't seem to.
Nothing happens.
Doesn't seem to move.
And so. Yeah, I guess I'll just do the like walking with your feet not leaving the ground thing where you just like slide your
shuffle into the next square.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, just very carefully.
All right.
Because we don't know how this thing works.
Moving forward. Nothing happens.
Okay, and then I'm gonna pull this screen aside.
Yeah, it's slid back. It seems like it rolls. Maybe it's slightly like canted down, so it means roll. But you slide the screen, and now in front of you there's the area. So this area actually you have to go up a step to get onto that next area, right? Each area is like up above. So you have to pull you pull yourself up and then slide the thing aside. So it's not right flat with the floor. So you're looking forward, you can see another screen. There's another platform on top of it. The screen is just set into the wall. This one doesn't slide. And then you have like a kind of a gap, like you're looking up at it at an angle. So you can sort of see the next area, but not
there's
really.
like another
Yeah,
lip.
it's like there's the floor with the blades, and then it goes up, and then there's the slidey thing, which you've moved out of the way. There's the floor, and then it's up again. And you can sort of, if you're standing where you are here, you can sort of see up here. Does that all make sense? Can you see that?
So because of the lighting, can you just move your whole diagram back to the left?
I'll just
and
move.
down?
I'm going to move you out so you can see it.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the next thing you have to cross, the floor in front of you has this 4x4 pattern on it.
And that's in this section.
Yeah, you're standing on a little lip. The floor has a 4x4 pattern, and and you can see the.
And the screen I pulled out of the way also had a grid on it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just like it looked like the floor, basically. Just a plain, just like a gridded pattern.
And does this door that I've opened, does it like want to retract or does it stay open?
Yeah, you can hear it slowly, like sort of sliding back in front of you. You're standing on a little lip.
Okay, so she's gonna wait for it to retract fully while on the other side, so that she gets close.
You actually can't. You have to step past it. There's no like, it'll close in front of you unless you step out onto the grid.
Onto the grid.
Yeah.
All right, well, I take the 10-foot pole and I poke the back corner piece, this tile.
Okay.
Poke it and try to like push it down.
You push on it, and you're not sitting on the. Okay, all right. You push down on it, and you hear a click, and then a whooshing sound, and a blast of heat suddenly like washes over you. Everyone outside, you hear. And you see a bright flash inside. The pole just like lights on fire and then breaks in half and like crumbles. Superheated fire just like blasts into the room, and then your pole lights on fire and like just super hot.
Huh? What part of the story had the superheated fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just like does that and then is like her just like frowns, like looking at this.
I don't think
stick.
the story had fire.
Yeah, and there's just like you hear like a loud grunt from her, of just like, "Shut up, I'm working."
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be like you have to step on the right squares thing or some shit. Is there any kind of pattern on the grid that's on the walls? Is there any like
not that you can see? Not that you can see, no.
Give me something to work with here.
Right? Like I
puzzle.
just, other than go for it, I don't know what to say.
So yeah, like this panel thing that keeps wanting to close again. She's gonna like brush her hand on it to try to clear away any dust or anything, and see or like feel if there's like a marking on it or something like that.
On what?
So I feel like there might be some clue as to like which squares I need to be on.
I agree.
On this grid.
Yep.
So I like feel for it if there are like false panels or buttons or some shit on the actual door piece.
So you let the thing slide in front of you.
Yeah, so that section is closed off.
No, it's just like a gridded like pattern. Make a perception check.
Yeah, I will do it. I will spend inspiration. I want to figure this crap out. This was the most inspired roll, Adam. I get a 6.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a stone door in a little track.
So yeah, Little Fox, I think at this point just gets frustrated and like pounds on the door thing really hard. She's like, and you hear like a bunch of smashing, like she's like hitting it with her hands in frustration.
Are we going with the exploding option then?
And then like, yeah, I guess I lower myself down and I'm like, yeah, you can hear her like breathing angrily, but like calming down. And then she just like carefully shuffles across the floor of the bladey
You're
area.
gonna activate it again.
Am I? Maybe.
Let's find out.
So going back this time, I'm gonna try to move a little bit differently than I've been moving.
Okay.
I think she'll try to go on all fours like a crocodile
Okay.
and keep her weight more spread out
Sure. You can try that.
and see if that does anything.
Okay.
And she's gonna feel real ridiculous while doing it, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, basically right away you feel the like, uh-oh. make a dex save.
I got 17.
Okay. Woof, 14.
Yeah, so I got 7 HP
It's all
left.
flashed up. You like roll out of the way. It doesn't cut your head off or anything, but yeah. And then you manage to get to the edge, and you can drop down.
And then
into
just
the
like
pit.
roll over the edge,
Yeah, and slide
holding the
down.
rope and slide down.
Okay.
Yeah, like land down below.
Yeah.
She looks very upset, and then she'll
Yeah,
climb
cut
into the
up
pit.
and just looking, just kind of burnt.
Yeah, and I just like haul myself over the edge, and I'm just like singed and cut up and grumpy.
Let me help with the.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel which way it tipped?
Yeah, and she just like shrugs.
Let me. I'm gonna try and help with the singeing.
Okay.
8.
So you heal 8.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not a thing.
And
As
so-
intrigued as I am, nothing's worth you getting hurt this much.
It was
Let's just leave.
even more dangerous after the swords.
fire.
Okay, fine. If we want to leave, then we can just go.
And like she can't like let go of it, so she like grabs Malik and pulls him over to the dirt, and then like draws in the dirt, draws the like 4x4 grid,
Mm-hmm.
and then the like wall door thing, and then the ground bit, and it's just like
Yeah, here,
pointing
let's
at the wall.
let's
and, like,
let's zoom in on that drawing, and I will draw it out for you, basically how it looks from the side, and y'all can decide if you want to keep at it or whatever. So if you're looking at this from the from a cutaway version on the side, it goes across when you come in. There was a section that would have been the floor. There's a pit. Then you climb up, right?
yeah, and
Then
there's Sword Town.
there's Sword Town, right? And then you climb
With
up.
the vertical slits for the sword.
So you climb up.
bits.
There's a short lip, and I'm going to switch colors. There's a door. And then there's the floor with the grid where the fire was, right? And then, what is that? What are you doing? Oh, drawing the grid. Okay. I'm going to need that space in a second. And then there's
I will move my grid.
another, and then out. And above it, the ceiling is, for this one, yeah, I think the ceiling more or less follows this pattern. But like it's mostly open above you, but at this point, this is where we hit the ceiling, and it kind of like drops down accordingly. So it's like a tunnel essentially going up. So for each platform as you reach it, like you could see standing here, like up into it, and then from here, when you were down here, you could see, but it was blocked by the thing. So that's kind of what's ahead of you.
Yeah, and so Little Fox like is really fixated on, because I feel like even though I failed the test at him, like she has this sense that there's like something going on there, but she can't figure it out, and it's just like really infuriating her. And
Yeah.
so she's like stubbornly grabbing Malik and being like pointing at this thing, this grid of 4 spaces,
Yeah.
and like not even making words, but just being like, and like pointing at it.
You know,
But she knows that the key is like in this pattern somewhere.
You know,
but
when
she
she
can't
gets
figure it out.
she gets like this, we're not gonna be able to leave until we get to the end of this thing.
Yeah. Well, it's like I've played puzzle games before. I know what it feels like. You're just like, oh, I can do this. It's like you're so close. So
And then having explained it, she just walks away and just starts like destroying anything that she can touch.
you just go over to the jungle, start hitting trees,
tearing things down, and like
awesome.
kicking things, and just losing it. Like she's so angry.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take a break here. We can all take 5, ponder it, take a step away from the puzzle, and when we come back, if you want to take another shot at it, we could do that. So stick around. We got lots more Tomb of Annihilation coming at you when we return.
Send your adventuring party deep into the jungles of Chult. The Roll20 module of Tomb of Annihilation includes the full contents of the original D&D book and adds immersive features like dynamic lighting on all battle maps, character sheets with one-click actions, copy and paste quick encounters, and other interactive features like puzzles and a player's map of Chult. Your next campaign can begin with just a few clicks. Get your copy today on the Roll20 Marketplace.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Roll20 presents Tomb of Annihilation. So it wouldn't be a tomb. It wouldn't be a Dungeons and Dragons without a little bit of that trappy nonsense. So you are trying to make your way through. Let me show our dear audience. You're trying to find your way through this beautiful nebula of blades and fire. What's the plan? What would you like to do, my wonderful characters?
So I'm curious if, in the process of me running around having a little tantrum, we might also roll this into Little Fox searching the tent areas and seeing if there are any. Because, okay, presumably the people who were camped out here for a while. One of them was probably some curious monk or cleric or whatever who was like, oh, yes, I'm fascinated with the statue, blah, blah, blah. Like,
oh, you're looking for, you're going to it'll take several hours. This isn't just a while I'm thrashing around, I stumble upon a journal thing. Like if you want to search search the camp, you can.
She's going to search it while having a tantrum, possibly over the course of
It's going to go much
hours,
faster if everyone else helps you.
Of course,
but she's going to start the process.
Yeah, I think that the thing is that we've discussed and we've tried to just bash our heads against this thing. Perhaps we should see if anyone around this area had tried to do the same and recorded it.
Okay, sure. All right.
Yeah, and Little Fox is helping by just tearing shit up and having a fit.
So mechanically, we'll just treat you as though you're teams of two. So pick a person. It's going to be, I think, Little Fox and Ishi probably, but you can split up however you like. Tell us how you're searching. What does it look like? Maybe give us a little vignette of the two of you working together, and then someone can roll with advantage because their buddy is helping.
I have a thought for the Ishi Little Fox scene.
Is it Ishi and Little Fox? Okay.
Yeah, it's me running around throwing a fit, and then you picking up after me. So you're actually looking at all the things, and I'm yard sailing stuff everywhere.
You're just tossing things, and I'm looking at the things.
And then you're like, oh no, okay, we should just. But and then you look at what is this? What is this?
Okay. What are you breaking?
Yeah.
So while that's happening, Arcturus and Malik, what is your search style like? What are you doing?
I mean, I think that Malik, you're an archaeologist, right? So while this is a more fresh ruin, as it were, there's a method to be gone about in terms of seeing what the culture was like here, and for me being an anthropologist, I feel our search is more so these tents were set up, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I love that the two academics get put together, because now when we see you doing this is your backgrounds for both of you. This is exactly what you're good at, deriving cultural clues, learning about local mythology, examining dig sites. It's very, very different, because the other two are acting like adventurers and you're acting like academics. You got this. So Malik, what does that look like for you? What are you doing?
I don't know. We're looking for clues specifically about this.
I think you're finally just taking a minute to really look through the ruins, to pick through the things that are broken, to examine the space, because you kind of got here and then went straight for the temple thing.
Yeah, I think for me, it would be trying to distinguish between the things that were here when the temple was built and the things that were built on top of that, in terms of the tents and any ruins of things that were before the tents. And then trying to go through and separate those two layers of culture. Basically, this is the people that built the temple, and then this is the people that came to discover the temple having been already built. And what did they leave?
Cool.
Yeah. That seems fine. Yeah, I'll help you taking off the first layer of dirt of anything is standard procedure. Seeing if there's any paths or anything that's just been hidden by time is the first thing you'll do at a dig site. So I'd probably like go about doing that. Just like I'd borrow my shovel back off of Little Fox, and if we find anything that's like jutting out of the ground or anything, I'll do a quick bit of excavation out of the way of stuff. But I'm not super hopeful.
And after we've searched the like camp and or like ruined buildings, I also want to see if there's any indication of a path leading on the outside of the temple, like not going through it, but maybe going up the hill. So
Okay, cool. All right. So who is for the two of you? Who's leading and who's giving advantage for each group?
Are we investigating?
Yes, it's investigation.
In which case, I will take the lead because I know that I'm good at that.
I'm not very investigatory. I'm more like kind of just note taking, I guess.
I've got a 1.
I've got a +2, so I'll lead for
Okay,
us
all right.
hilariously.
So go ahead and roll. Nice, 21, 18.
Yeah,
Good.
21,
You did great. Okay. So, Ishi and Little Fox, you end up finding a clue up north here. And Malik and Arcturus, you find something down here by this building. So we'll do Malik and Arcturus first. So while you're searching, you find yourself up at the top of this hill. It's a 10-foot hill. You climb up there, and there's a building that's all like crumbled and fallen in. And up here, this looks to be I think it's a chapel or something like that. Let me find the description of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a shrine. Yeah, a chapel or a shrine. So it looks like the shrine was partly built. It was collapsed before they finished it. It's mostly stone, unlike the rest of the tents around here. Because you don't make tents out of stone. It seems like they had started to build it, and then there's like burn marks all over the place. Like it looks like the construction was burnt, and you can smell like lantern oil in the air. Even approaching it, you smell that like that thick lantern oil smell in the air. There are a bunch of turned over, partly melted, what look like lamps. In this area, the heat from the fire burnt them, and then whatever started the fire quickly caught on to the stockpile of construction material and then burned it up. So all that's left here is just a burned out ruin. In the burnt out shrine, you find, and you can tell me who finds this, you find a silver, somehow mysteriously, despite the fire, you find on a slightly scorched leather thong, you find a silver gauntlet, little silver gauntlet with a ring through one of its fingers, hanging from this leather thong that was just hanging on the wall, and it looks like it survived the fire. The leather's a little scorched, but
it looks like the Order of the Silver Gauntlet had some specific clerics or priests with them. Decided, since they'd set something up here, that they needed a place to worship. And then at some point, whether it be native creatures, whoever has made the home here now, or was spiteful enough to destroy the rest of the camp, also didn't appreciate that particular god being worshipped. It's clearly been destroyed on purpose. This isn't the ravages of time.
It's entirely possible it was an accident. I mean,
no, I severely doubt it.
Yeah, there's clear sign.
Lantern oil spilled about as a propellant.
Yeah, when while you're having this conversation, the two of you are looking around. There's clear signs that there was a battle here. Though, like I said before, the bodies are gone. There's no bodies. There's boot prints. There's blood, but there's no equipment laying around and no corpses. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what you notice. That the item that you found, it's a holy symbol of Torm, and you don't need to make a religion check for that. Holy Symbol of Torm, yep, the gauntlet, and it is worth 25 gold.
Cool.
So meanwhile, up to the north.
The fact that it's not burned and everything around it is burned suggests to me that maybe on an out of game level it's like somehow fire resistant.
Yeah, magical or blessed in some way.
The
I mean,
power
this
of
is just-
Torm.
Yeah.
This is just my out of game thought about it.
totally reasonable. Yep.
Are you writing it down, Dave, or should I?
If you could grab it, that would
Yeah,
be good.
I'll grab it.
Okay. All right. So further to the other side of the camp, up kind of near the top of the hill, a little ways away from things, you find two mostly collapsed wooden structures. They're tall enough to stand in, maybe not quite for Little Fox. You'd have to crouch. Tall enough to stand in. They have wooden doors with a little moon shape cut out on it. But they're both like collapsed basically. And one of them, and I don't know which of the two of you decided to like casually peek down into the latrine.
Oh, well, Little Fox kicks the buildings off of the latrine pits.
Smash.
Right? She's just like, "Argh," and just like kicks it, and the whole thing just.
Yeah. Okay. So you blast the top off the latrine. You can see down below. There is lying in a hole semi full of human refuse.
Oh great! Yeah, okay, the toilet. Sweet.
Down in the hole, there is a body. It's mostly decomposed, but you can see like a skull and some hair. You can see a suit of like scale mail covered in filth. The body is clutching something to its chest, but its like head is tipped over.
You are a kobold after all. So I don't like. Would Ishi even care?
Well, yeah, she's got all her fancy stuff, and
Yeah,
she's
totally.
fancy.
That's a thing
You
worth
can
caring
hand your
about.
hat to Little Fox, and she'll hold your hat while you go down there.
Yeah, she takes off her little cloak and hat and goes like, it's like being back in the sewers.
Yeah,
of
I was about to
Baldur's
say. So you take off the trappings of your like duelist, and you hand the weapon to Little Fox, and all of a sudden, what does Ishi look like? Do you affect a change in body? You don't have your costume, your like duelist costume on. You look like every other kobold.
I look like every other kobold. Yeah, I would say that for anybody but a kobold, it's like super hard to distinguish a kobold from another kobold. You know,
Yeah.
like in general, unless they've got like a big scar or something. Like
Yep.
we're talking about
Little
lizard,
Fox could recognize you,
basically.
right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Little Fox.
Right? So
But also,
what's-
Little Fox is like really observant about nature stuff. So
she's,
like,
yeah, but like, what's the detail? What's Ishi's little? Like,
I
does
think
she have
she's
a
got,
yellow
like-
patch?
Well, your name
on
is
her
Ishi.
side,
Your
or-
name is Ishi Snaggletooth.
yeah,
so.
she does have like some gnarly teeth. Like that's the thing that I definitely imagined her having. But I think also she's got like a little ridge on her head that you can't see when she's got her hat on, but that like is super visible
Yeah, with a
without it.
little
Yeah.
lizard frill, little stubby
Yeah.
lizard frill.
Like something that's not fully developed, so to speak.
Mhm.
But
And I think kicking the cap off of the latrine also was cued the end of Little Fox's tantrum,
Yeah.
and that she now is like calmly sat down, and is like folding your cloak over and then stacking your hat on it in her lap.
Mhm.
just take my stuff. I'm just gonna go and see what the corpse in the toilet is.
Yeah, and she like pats your head like, "Yeah, you're doing a good thing," and it sucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
gives you
like
one of those.
go down into the
Mhm.
latrine.
There's room
pit.
enough for you to scramble down there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't think kobold like olfactory sense works the same way. Like it doesn't bother you. You're not like. "Oh,
I mean,
it's
she
gross to
lived
hit." Yeah.
before this. She lived in a sewer.
Yeah.
like
Kobolds are not bothered by
Baldur's
this.
Gate is full of kobolds.
You know that other people would think this is gross, but like it doesn't. That part doesn't bother you. I don't.
Not
think.
problem. No.
Okay. All right.
And then I see what this body has like held to itself.
Okay, so you climb down, and you see the walls, the like mud walls or like soil walls of the latrine pit. They have like deep furrows in them, but only up to about like if this person were sitting down, only up to like the person didn't stand up. So there's like marks like dug into the walls around them. Their knees are pushed up against their chest. They look big enough that they probably were like they look wedged in here. Like they probably couldn't stand. and clutched to
Grim.
the person's chest. Yeah, their head is down. Their face is mostly like moldered away, so it's just a skull. Clutching a warhammer. There is also part of the armor. He's wearing scale armor. Part of the armor is like torn, and there's like blood in the scales. Clutching a warhammer to his chest, and in his other hand, a tiny leather pouch.
Yeah, sorry about this,
Mhm.
guy. It looks like you had a bad time. Just take the pouch
Yeah.
and the warhammer.
Pull the pouch out. His fingers like break off and
I
crumble.
don't think I need to worry about the scale mail. It looks like regular scale mail, right? You said there's a big
Just
hole
looks
in
like
it.
damaged. Yeah, it's ruined scale mail.
Yeah. So she's gonna call up to Little Fox and be like, I think maybe this person's legs were damaged or something and they couldn't get out. You know, it looks like they were trying to get out.
And yeah, the hole darkens as Little Fox's head like pops over the lip to like look down, and she kind of like sniffs the air and frowns, and then shrugs.
Okay, hang on, I'm gonna get out.
And then like a rope comes down
Yeah.
to help you
Okay.
out.
So you scramble on up.
And I put the warhammer down in the little leather bag.
Yeah,
Those
it's
look like the sort of most useful things.
Yeah, it's a warhammer. Big block of stone. Big block of carved stone. It has the gauntlet of Torm on both sides, imprinted into the stone. The like long handle, so you can swing it two-handed or one, and then a loop of leather at the bottom. It seems crafted in a utilitarian fashion. It's not like beautiful or anything.
I mean, it's a warhammer. It does a warhammer.
It doesn't look like it's seen much use. It's not like caked with blood or anything or chipped. And the little pouch has 5 gemstones of varying sorts in it that you, at a glance, because you're a D&D character and you just know these things, they're worth 10 gold each. So it's
Okay,
a
I'm
pouch
gonna
with
record that on my
50
sheet.
gold worth
Yeah.
of gemstones.
Feel free to record those things, Andrew. I think we should show the hammer to the other two because they know about stuff like, you know, old stuff or whatever. If it's useful, they'll probably know.
Yeah, and Little Fox just like wordlessly pockets the gemstones and is nodding and like taking the hammer over to the other two.
Okay, so you all meet up at the foot of the statue again, after having found the clues that the camp has to offer.
Were there any indications about whether there was a path up the side of the mountain or just...
No, it seems like they just cleared what they could around the base of this thing and set up camp. It was maybe at a glance you're learning that this camp was earlier in its construction than you thought. Like it wasn't as they went off in the jungle quite a while ago to build a fort here, but never managed to make it into a fort. And who knows what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was an interesting burned shrine to this god, but no clues as to how to get through this mess. There was a conflict here, though. Malik said, and I suppose I have to agree. Someone was not happy about the shrine being built, or perhaps some other kind of misunderstanding. But no bodies, just signs of a struggle.
Well, I mean, me and Malik already figured out what happened last time. It was the crocodiles, right?
Crocodiles came out and jumped on all their backs.
It's entirely possible that the bodies aren't there because they were eaten. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you find?
We found a
There's
hammer.
just like the clump of this warhammer being put in the dirt.
Pointing at it,
Mhm.
and some other stuff, but not useful, I don't think.
Is the hammer any different from like my hammer?
No, it seems of stout construction. You could definitely use it to bash some people with, but lifting it and holding it in your hand, it doesn't feel particularly special.
Now here's the question, right? If we jump back to that out of game like puzzle solving.
Yeah, do you want to take a look at the puzzle?
I just want to take a look.
Okay.
Here's the question: this warhammer is stoutly constructed and probably fairly heavy. Like, we're talking about something that has like a bit of leverage to it. So we might be able to use this for the pressure plates, maybe. I don't know. That's just a thought of mine.
I already had a hammer.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, no, it's entirely possible.
It's also better than the mace. That's my backup weapon. So,
I mean, yeah,
Little Fox could make use of this.
you got that anyway. The amulet. I mean, we haven't.
Is it?
Talked about that yet?
Yeah. Can I examine it and see if it's magical in any way?
It takes a short rest unless you have a spell.
Oh. I don't have one equipped. I haven't prepared.
So, I mean, looking at it,
smell magic.
It's
on the Furbolg.
It's a I mean, it appears to be a holy symbol of Torm. Whether it has any kind of magical qualities.
You want to sniff at it, Little Fox?
Yeah, I'll spend my Furbolg magic
to detect magic. Okay,
yeah,
it is not magical. No,
it's not magical. Yeah, she like sniffs it and just like shakes her head.
Just lucky then, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just not with the, if you don't want it damaged irreparably, which is the only tool I have for this particular engagement, then perhaps we should just leave and continue on to Orlunga and maybe try and find Azaka and not deal with this crocodile temple. We can come back. We come through the jungle all the time. Maybe there's some lost adventurer close by who has information that we're missing. There was obviously somebody here. Fire, boats.
Yeah, but like recently, so maybe they got through the thing.
Maybe they were eaten by crocodiles.
Also very possible.
I mean, was there any indication of like, did we try to track them from the boats? Well, there's too much.
Yes, no, there's too much. We talked about it. There's no way to know.
Do we have any ideas?
I don't think what happened out here has anything to do with the way that we're getting across the traps. It's certainly interesting, but
we
separate.
Yeah, they're a very differing historical strata, right? Like the temple, this thing, the shrine to the crocodile man totem pole situation, predates the camp by a lot. So they just built the camp around its feet because it was already kind of clear.
We could attempt to scale the cliff and see if there is a way to just skip this whole trap thing altogether. Maybe there's an entrance on the head of the beast.
Well, I think I've worked out the tile puzzle, but getting past I don't understand the pressure plate. The swords. It didn't trigger when the two of you were up there.
So the thing about the swords was whatever is triggering it aside, when you trigger it, there are blades that are in the wall and they scythe out and then snap back in and reset. So just in case that wasn't clear, like they're not it's not like shooting them and they're landing on the floor. Like they whip out, cut you, and then retract back in on the wall.
You mentioned, Ishi, that kobolds were fond of traps. Can you not just take it apart, the trap, with the swords? Dismantle it as you would have put it together.
I mean, maybe.
If we are going by...
You're muted, Ishi.
Oh, sorry.
If I had the right tools, maybe, but I don't.
I mean, what kind of tools are you talking about, right? Because like you are all carrying a bunch of shit with you. What would you use, Ishi, to disable the blades?
Well, I mean, when I'm talking about tools, I'm talking about like the actual use of like thieves' tools, which would allow you to disable like a trap.
Right, but also like narratively, if you can think of a way to stop the trap.
Narratively, what I would do is if they're scything out like this, I'd put something heavy or that isn't going to get cut against each of the sides of the thing, and then they'd get stuck when you know.
Okay. Do you have anything that would fit that?
heavy things. Well, we have that warhammer or the mace that.
Yeah, they're coming out with a pretty good force, so they'll break the they'd push the warhammer over.
Do we have any? Here's my thought, right? And from a trap perspective, if we don't want the blades to cut us, we need to stop them from coming out the wall, which means that if they're coming out like this, which I'm assuming like
Yeah, so there's slots in the wall that run vertically, and then the blades essentially come out on a swing. So they swing out and then swing back in.
So if we have something heavy enough that when it swings out, it gets caught on the heavy thing before it would hit you. So like a big enough rock in the space would probably stop it. And if we had a couple, we could put them.
Right.
And
So
then-
so rather than stopping them, you're talking about blocking the slot.
Yeah.
If the scythes are suspended and swinging out, that implies that there's some sort of rope or metal attachment at the top that if you disabled that would stop it from being able to swing, correct?
Yeah, so the wall, if we're looking at it sideways, like when they come out this way, the blade the blade comes out like,
Is it on some sort of like,
I mean, you didn't get a good look at it. It's dark in there.
I mean, I think the point is it swinging out as though it's attached from the bottom, or is it swinging out as though it's attached from the top?
I don't know, maybe you trigger it and get a look at it.
Just
So Dave and I were talking earlier about sending someone up there with a couple bags full of dirt to just use them as weights to trigger it, so we could observe it without being on the platform itself, by just having someone hanging off the rope and being like, bloop, chuck a bag of dirt on there, trigger the trap.
what about
I
fire?
can't help but think we are supposed to traverse these two with two of us at the same time. If we're going by the law of the temple, the pit represents the waters which the man could not cross, and the swords represent the dangerous land of man. Perhaps. I think if we went two at a time, we wouldn't have triggered any of these things.
Okay, well then let's try it. I'm willing to try it, and I
So
get out of the way.
remember, Ishi and Little Fox, you were up there at the same time, side by side, when you went up initially, and it still triggered the traps. Just to provide information, don't let me tell you what to do.
Like you do that thing where you breathe fire. Can you breathe fire strong enough to melt metal?
No.
Here's the other thing, maybe one after the other, or like together a certain amount of.
I could continue.
I don't fucking know.
We're making dexterity checks, right?
You're making dex saves to avoid getting
Dex
cut.
saves.
But
Is
even if
that
you save,
plus?
you take half damage, right? Yep.
Right.
So
So there's
Yeah.
not a thing that we
Little-
can do to make the like, do you trigger the trap or not mechanic plus a d4?
Not with guidance, no.
So Little
What about with
Fox
lead?
is gonna do what Malik suggested and fill the bags with dirt.
Okay, what bags?
From previous conversation, Malik has two
I have
sacks.
2 sacks.
Okay, you can fill those
Yeah,
sacks.
so-
Make sandbags.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're just gonna make a couple sandbags.
Okay.
And she's got the two ends of them tied together, so they're like, it's like a two-sided sandbag,
Okay.
two-section sandbag, and that's over her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll go up the rope.
Okay, so you're sandbag over your shoulder. You climb up to the rope, but you're still like rappelling. You're not actually
Yeah,
on the.
so-
Okay.
Just under the lip,
Yeah.
she's then going to heave the sandbags up
Okay.
onto the thing
Okay.
and try to chuck it so that the two of them land,
Sure. I mean, they're not. It's not going to be wide enough to
Spread
land
out.
on 2 different 10-foot like squares,
but
you're trying
just
to,
like
them
spread the
out.
weight out and
Okay.
get it on there. and
Yeah,
see
I
what
don't
happens.
think it's actually 2 now that you mentioned it.
Oh,
I
okay, so
thought
it's one,
it
and you've tied off.
hadn't
then.
triggered when there were 2 people. It was when we went from 3 to 4 that it finally triggered.
No, it was triggering the whole time. Adam was making rolls for us the whole time.
I can't say.
didn't
But
do-
here's what happens with the sandbag. So you're in here, you hurl the sandbag up there, it lands, slides a little, and there's a click, and then it gets like sliced, and sand goes flying everywhere. You triggered the trap.
Do you want to
So
make
there's a click, and then is there a reset click?
It lands and it Yeah, it's not right away. It's not just like down and then goes. Like it
Yeah.
goes and then it's on the it's like when you press down on a keyboard, it's not the click, it's the lift.
Yeah.
And so it's that you throw it down and it goes like click, and then when it lifts off, it slices.
It shouldn't lift off though, right? If it's a
Well, because there's
Needs
the
to
force
be
of it
heavier.
landing.
Two
and
people
then-
in one place. That has to be the answer. Needs to be heavier. If it's on the lift, that's a huge piece of information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heavier in one spot. Each spot. Two people, one spot. Let's go.
Okay, now you cannot
it's-
both occupy a 5-foot square standing next to each other.
Well,
Yeah,
and
the piggyback thing the whole time.
But the whole story is about carrying people. So one person carries the other person. That's enough weight. We make it to the other side.
Well, but
That
Little
has to
Fox,
be it.
Little Fox triggered it, and Little Fox is 300 pounds. I don't think that
But
you
it could be
people-
like
two people together?
magically related to two people or something.
So Ishi, you're saying this. You're standing on the edge. Little Fox is still hanging on the rope. What are you gonna do?
Okay, Little Fox. Okay, grab.
yeah, she like reaches
come-
down
Uh-huh.
to you because she can just like rappel down a little ways and then like reach out across the thing.
Okay.
And like you hop over.
Yeah.
She'll climb up with you.
Okay.
And so
Okay,
then while
so
while
what-
carrying you,
So trust me on this. Carry me across the thing, and we should be okay.
So carrying you like in your arms like a baby, because then you can't balance. You can't pull yourself up.
so right now I've got her in one arm and I'm like rope climbing with the other. I figure as a strength 18 character, that's no problem.
Yeah, sure.
just give her a piggyback.
And then yeah, I'll just like pop her on my
Yeah.
shoulder.
Okay.
I would just piggyback on.
And then
Little Fox.
heave myself onto the thing.
Okay. So with Ishi on your shoulders, you step out onto the bladed platform.
She's crossing her fingers in her mind.
And nothing happens.
Okay.
So you're on the first of two squares.
Step on the next one, please.
I mean, I do it. I gotta trust my friend.
Okay. So you take another step. Nothing
And
happens.
And yeah, she just like quickly, it's like, and go, and just like,
Yeah.
moves
And I
forward.
think you're aware enough of your body that you're walking differently than you were before because you're trying to keep Ishi balanced on your shoulders. So your center of balance has shifted slightly, and so you're not walking the same as you were before. So you take that next step and nothing happens. What are you gonna do?
Great. And then I get really close to the wall
Uh-huh.
and then push Ishi up
Okay.
and get her to climb over the next lip, and then I'll like hop up and
Okay.
heave myself up.
Roll up the lip.
So you climb up onto the lip, and so are you standing next to each other on the lip, or how do you does Ishi jump back on your head?
So standing at the lip, I'll then pick her up and put her on my shoulder again.
Okay. Put it on your shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then
then
what?
there's the door thing.
Yeah.
And so
Ishi, you can see right over the door. So like standing on Little Fox's shoulders, you can look down into the onto the floor, but from where you're standing, you can also see up further, and you have a much clearer view. And on the wall back here, you have dark vision too, so you can actually see
I do,
it.
yeah.
On the wall back there's a 4x4 grid, and the first, and third tiles of that grid are glowing slightly.
So
The first, third.
Yeah,
Adam,
so
I-
like,
I
let
have
me clear,
drawn-
Dave. I'm gonna
I
clear
have
this.
drawn a grid.
Yeah,
on
clear
here.
that stuff. Let me show you. So if you're looking at it dead on, this. Wait, where'd it go? Why'd you do that? Come back, grid.
Here, I'll just draw a new grid. It's fine.
Okay.
So there's a square. There's a grid of 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this one, that one, and this one are lit up.
And so while you're doing that, like Little Fox is unaware of you doing
Yeah,
it,
just
and
pulling
she's
it up.
like, she's got the grid on the door, and she's like pointing to the back left tile,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
just says fire, and then like shakes the thing, and is just like, "Grr."
Okay. No. Okay. So I can see a thing back there.
Sorry, this is flip this whole thing over. So
Yeah,
it's,
okay, fine. But we know what we're talking about in terms of what I'm supposed to. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sorry, it'll be the back right one.
the one you hit before with the fire was that one right there. The one with the
Okay, I thought it was the
No.
opposite one.
no. It was this was the one you were poking with the.
Also, my arrow there on the right hand side, that's pointing towards the back of the room.
No, that's pointing towards the ceiling. The diagram here is the wall that you haven't seen yet.
Okay, so then this tips forward to be the floor.
I mean, either it tips forward or it scoops out from the bottom.
And so, yeah, you like describe what you see.
Okay,
to
so
Little
I
Fox.
see a bunch of like the tiles and the corresponding places are glowing. So if you put your left foot right there, and then your right foot on the one just up over there, and then the left, and then the right, and then we should be over, I think.
So where do you step?
Yeah, and so I'll do what she says. So it's like second from the right. I touch my foot on it. And this is like just her foot goes forward and touches down on it. And then she'll step into the
Okay.
thing as long as her foot doesn't get immolated.
Okay. So you're stepping on which one?
So
That one. Okay. If that's the closest row to you.
yeah, closest row on the right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like second from the right.
Yeah, you step
puts
on
her
it.
foot on it.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. And then yeah, left foot on the second one in on the far end.
Yep. So you hop over to that one. No problem.
And then yeah, like back and forth. Right, left, right, left.
Okay.
And then again pushes Ishii up and then hauls herself over.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you pull yourself, or you can just see, right? You can see off over her, over Little Fox's shoulders. At the back wall, the door is like the thing you were looking at is a wooden panel in the wall. So it's this 4x4 wooden panel with these glowing squares.
And yeah, Little Fox just says, "Now what?"
And you're standing on the
Are they
floor
the
down
same-
here.
The same glowing squares.
No, that was what you were looking at.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, this thing's the guide for that thing down there. So,
But it's also the back wall.
Yeah.
And it's wood, not stone.
And so we're both standing up here now at the top level because I've hauled
Okay.
myself up.
You can't see up here.
Yeah.
You just see the 4 glowing panels, but you have next to no other vision. It's dark.
There's the sound of some fumbling around, and then like a and then a candle lights, and she dabs some wax from the end, touches the bottom of it with the hot wax, and then taps it on the floor so it stays upright.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this little like candle in the corner now.
Okay.
And she's looking at it with Ishii.
okay, so we. I mean, this is the back wall over there.
So the two of you are just standing on the floor. You can't. So there's the ceiling, and even at full extension, you cannot reach the ceiling from here, Little Fox. Like the door is big. It's very tall.
Yeah. And so I hoist you up onto my shoulders again, assuming that this involves more of this nonsense.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so once again, shoulders to try and see if I can see over it or touch the ceiling in any way or like brush away cobwebs or anything like that to like give us any kind of extra context from being, like
Big wooden panel. When you get a closer look at it, it looks like it's not all one thing. Like each square seems to be its own individual panel on a larger paneled whole.
And so they could be like buttons or something.
Yes,
like
yeah.
could maybe
They look
push
like you
them
could
or-
push them or touch them independently.
Oh, okay, yeah, you could totally press them. Yeah.
And then I like put you down, and I just say like, story ends with them not friends, not on shoulders.
Maybe we have to push the buttons on the opposite sides at the same time because this is like us working separately now instead of together. Maybe.
Yeah, and she like nods and then shrugs, like maybe. And I want to poke around on this door thing, Adam,
Mhm.
and try to like get a sense of what's going on with it. Like look really closely at these button things.
Okay.
and Can I make like a perception test
Oh, you can make an investigation check, yeah.
or an investigation check with my friend helping me for advantage?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking definitely.
Yeah. So the two of us scope it out. We get a 21. Is there anything that stands out about this?
You have all the information that is available to your mundane senses.
Okay. Does it smell like magic?
I don't know. You can do the thing.
Didn't you already use that?
I've used it, but it lasts a long time. So, because detect magic is like a concentration spell, right?
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So we could say it's
I
been
mean,
more
I
than 10
think
minutes
it's
or whatever,
probably
but-
been 10 minutes, yeah. Okay, so last part of the story is never be friends again. Okay. So
Is that the end of the story, though?
it is the end of the story. He swore in anger that he'd never again be friends with a man crocodile.
Right. Okay.
And
I
it
mean,
remains
I
so
would
to
read
this
I would
day.
read the end of the story again just to be sure because I think you're misinterpreting it. Like, yes, they don't like each other, but it doesn't mean that they go their separate ways.
You'll never be friends again.
It lasted many years. You're still going to do it together.
Yeah, and then the other thing that Little Fox will say is just, does the crocodile want men and crocodiles to be friends? The man in the story is mad, but the crocodile is clever.
Okay. So let's do it again together. And I'll push the two top ones, and you push the two bottom ones. And maybe that'll work.
Yeah, she like shrugs and says, and then just like picks you up.
Might as well try something.
And so by the light of this little candle in the corner, she like goes over to the thing and like, because are two of them glowing, Adam?
They're the same one. Yeah, they're glowing. There's the on the right. There's
it's the same.
It's the same ones
So
as the
second
floor.
from the right and down one. and
Just the same
then
ones we saw on the
at
panel.
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like with her foot and with her hand, she'll push, or no, I guess, yeah, right foot, left hand. She'll
Yeah,
push
those are the
two
ones that are in
bottom
reach for you, and then Ishi can reach the top
And
two.
then I'm
Yeah.
pushing the other two.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
Okay. So you press them. They shift in slightly. The air takes on a slight like tingle. You feel your the hair on your neck raise a little bit, and then the door clicks and splits down the middle and swings open. Dry and dusty air from within drifts out, and the candle flickers.
Okay, I was right. We should tell them.
And yeah, like Little Fox just puts you down on the little like cliff edge here so you can shout down to them.
Hey! Either of you down there?
Yes.
Hello?
How far have you gotten?
We're all the way. We're all the way up there.
All right, we'll follow your instructions.
Okay, so one of you has to carry the other one on their back.
This is such a like, oh yeah, no, the swords won't kill you if you just go piggyback. And I'd be like, no, you're just trying to get me killed. You're just like, there's no way.
Well, I'm afraid, Arcturus, I'm not particularly strong.
Sorry, what? You,
You heard her, didn't you?
well, yes, but must we? There's more. I mean, this whole thing is just distasteful in my mind. I don't think that we need to go down there.
Listen, either come up or I'll just keep going. That's fine too. You can stay down there.
It's likely full of crocodiles.
Okie dokie. Moving on.
And only Ishi hears this, but when Arcturus says that, Little Fox is just like, I like crocodiles. Like really quietly.
Yeah, everybody's shit talking crocodiles.
Yeah, I like crocodiles.
I mean, like, is it steps down further into a dungeon? Is it like
So beyond,
just-
I will
Yes,
tell
beyond.
you. So beyond, let me clear the. Everybody, get up in there. Ba-doop. I will show you the room beyond. So, as you open the door and look beyond, the floor of this dusty 40-foot high, 20-foot wide chamber is littered with dinosaur bones. Webs stretch from the walls
Sick.
to a 30-foot tall central pillar, coiled around which is a narrow stone staircase, its steps covered with dust. Carved into the pillar are reliefs of a man carrying a crocodile. The reliefs follow the stairs to the top of the pillar. Now, the pillar doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling. It stops. It's flat. And on top of it is an enormous, beautiful ceramic jug. From here, you can see that the jug is... like, it's not so big that you couldn't carry it around. It's bigger than like a water skin. It's probably like a 4-liter jug. And it's covered, unlike a normal jug, it's covered all the way around the outside with a bunch of different spigots with corks in them. So it sort of bristles with these spigots all around the outside. And then it has a big clay handle. It's made out of a dark, like a river mud, and is carved on the outside with whirling patterns.
Oh man, a jug. I was hoping for like gold or
Yeah, and Little
Snack.
Fox just says like very low, like pretty. Like
It is,
kind of
yeah,
puts
it's
her hand out
beautiful.
a little bit, like, oh, cool.
Do you guys see anything about the people who might have gone before us in that room?
It doesn't look like this door has been opened in a long ass time.
So, yeah, the other thing is that Little Fox is interested in is the bones on the floor. Like, I think she'll reach down and pick up like some dino bone,
Mhm.
and like be like looking at it by candlelight because she's holding down the little candle.
Okay.
And Arcturus and Malik aren't going to come up and see
No, I'm
this
not allowed.
cool
Not allowed
archaeological.
until Arcturus wants to.
What? You're not even gonna try and convince me? I'm just
Well,
saying that
I've
like
gotten everything in my power.
I'm just saying that in terms of this whole rigmarole of traps, like you guys might have gotten to the top a-okay, but like, I mean, I did say that like unless you could, I don't know, like it just seems like kind of ridiculous to have someone on your shoulders and go like try and go up a cliff in plate mail without help. I don't know, like if it's necessary, if you guys are like there's more to explore back here, like come and help us. But like if it's just a room with a jug, then I don't know.
I will let Ishi do the talking.
We'll give it a look. So you do some exploration, Little Fox, and I go back and I inform our dear friends through the use of my amazing shouting voice.
Yeah, right. Your voice just echoing out of the
With
thing
the
because
power of shouting.
you're quite distant from your friends now. You're 40,
So-
45, 50 feet.
There's a big jug in here and a lot of dinosaur bones. Also, does this sound like I'm the big statue?
I'm a big statue.
I'm a crocodile now.
Yes, you are very impressive, Ishi. Is there danger? More than the traps. I mean, I'm not keen on being stabbed again. I am not a furbolg.
No danger if you follow my simple instructions.
I don't see why we shouldn't go in. I mean, I'm curious.
There's a big jug, and you guys are the ones who know stuff about jugs. I just want, like, the
Come
gold.
look at this jug, you guys.
Maybe you
like-
could send Little Fox back to carry Malik.
No, because then I would have to come back. You gotta go 2 at a time.
I don't like this whole place.
Just put Malik on your shoulder. Piggyback. Do you have piggies in the ocean? Dolphin
No.
back.
Dolphin back.
Like a remora. Put it in your mouth.
I look over at Malik and I'm like, is this truly necessary? Do you
Yes, it is. It is entirely necessary at this point.
This is
Okay.
what adventuring is.
I can't-
This is it.
I can't-
This is adventuring.
You're fucking living it.
Okay, so what you do first is, are you in position at the bottom of the sword murder pit area?
Well, yes, the pit is right here.
Okay, good. Climb up the rope, and then before you get onto the first platform, get Malik on your back.
But like essentially you're saying jump down this 20-foot pit without Featherfall, so I'm taking damage
Nah,
down.
you can,
rope-
you can,
there's a rope
you
on
can,
either
you-
side.
well, no, and you can turn around and lower yourself into the pit and then let go. It's not a big deal. You can get down into the pit, no problem. It's the like sudden, unexpected drop that's the issue. Don't make it
Okay.
more difficult than it already is.
Well, the whole thing has been made way more difficult than it needed to be. We spent like 3 hours doing
Someone
this
put all
bullshit
these
crap.
traps here to make it
Yeah. Oh no,
difficult.
they didn't just give us free treasure.
These jerks.
How dare
We've got
they?
the solution. Are you coming?
No, like, but honestly, it's the worst. I can't believe these people
Yeah,
built this
it
thing.
really
It's
is.
so ridiculous.
So
I mean, the thing is that we like supposed this whole payback thing way before.
But then we
and
didn't do it.
you
so
didn't do
doesn't
it.
matter.
So that's like saying like I knew what the lottery number was going to be, but I didn't buy a ticket. I should still get the lottery though. So you
That's
climb
not
down.
what I said at all, but okay, sure.
You can climb down to the pit, no problem. You can climb out of the pit without too much trouble because there's a rope, and there's no like time isn't an issue. But you have to just tell me what you're doing.
Okay, so here's what you do, Arcturus. Get your foot and then put it one foot in front of the other while Malik's on your back, and then nothing will happen with the swords, I promise. As long as Malik is on your back at the same time.
This is horribly embarrassing.
By the way, I really hope this isn't too loud for anyone. I'm trying to like
No, you're good. It's good. You're
theater
totally
yell this way.
Yeah,
and
no,
we're
it's
doing
fine.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
not. My ears aren't hurting.
fine. It sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, can we get Ishi's guide to traps and dungeons? Can someone write this
I'd be
supplement?
super into that.
Nice.
This is like Arcturus is doing this like at the like he is just like
You're under duress.
Like, I hate this. I hate this.
So
I hate
let's see
hate
that.
all
So
of it.
Arcturus and Malik, you're at the bottom of the pit. This is the point at which Malik has to get on Arcturus's back before you climb up.
before I climb up.
Well, I mean, you both have to be on the next level, and one of you has to be on the shoulders of the other, or on the back of the other. So
I'm not a furbolg. I can't just carry people and repel. That seems ridiculous.
it's fine. Malik can help. Malik can pull too.
Okay.
I'll do what I can. I'm just not.
Definitely 100% not going to die. All right, here goes.
So describe to me what is happening. Position yourselves fictionally.
I'm attempting to climb a rope in full chainmail with another person on my back
Yes.
who is also
Whatever,
fully
you got
Presumably
you got
Malik can
16
hand
strength.
over hand.
I'm like, why is Arcturus being such a baby about this? What do you got, like a 4 strength? You have 16 strength. You're crazy strong.
You're like stronger than me.
You're
Strong-
almost as strong as fucking Little Fox.
Arcturus is Arcturus is ripped.
Yeah, you're a beast. I didn't know you had 16 strength. I thought you had like 12 or
So
something.
with your
I roll
muscles,
like I have 12.
with your muscly arms rippling like the mighty ocean, you pull the two of you up this rope onto
The sea belies its strength, and so too
right
does
the placid
Arcturus'
surface.
skinny fish
Okay,
arms not
things
show
are
the
different.
power
Oh my
within.
god, fish
Beneath
ripped.
the ocean. You trying to do things with water instead of air. It takes a lot more effort. I don't know how strong I
You were
am.
raised at the bottom of the ocean where the pressure is much higher. So up here you can
Yeah,
just
so
throw
you're
things
just-
around. You're Superman. All right,
It's like the fucking hyperbolic. No, it's not the hyperbolic. tank. The other one.
It's
The one in Capture.
hyperbaric chamber. Yeah.
the planet with
The other one.
lots of gravity. From
All right.
Dragon Ball.
So
Yeah.
Ishi, peering over the edge. First, you see Malik's face. What's the look on your face, Malik, when you get piggybacked up over the edge? How does Malik look right now?
Malik is trying to contain. Sorry, I'm super salty about this.
Yeah,
Malik is very
I'm
excited about the entire thing. So Malik is he's like craning his neck to try and get a look. He doesn't want to look too excited, but he's barely containing himself. This is what he actually lives for.
Yeah.
This whole time he's been puzzling with a smile on his face, but I'm not. I'm grumpy though.
Arcturus is still not convinced that this is anything that we need to be doing, and there's no living people in here, obviously, and we're going to die, probably. It's a mess. There's like Arcturus is certain as he steps on the first like tile that there's just gonna be swords. It's just the end forever. That's what Arcturus is thinking.
But it is not the end forever, or even the end for now. And you step out onto the trap, and nothing happens.
Can I see them from where I am?
Yes,
Like,
you can see them pretty clearly. The door is sliding shut though, so
Okay, so now that you've made it through the absent chorus of swordness, the next part is you gotta put your feet in the right spot, and you gotta do it with still Malik on your back, okay? So Malik, you gotta balance and help Arcturus a little bit, but basically, the way this is gonna work is you step on the one at the third one on the right, and then the one next on the first one on the left, and then the right, and then the left, and then you're safe. The tiles on the ground. That's how you do it. This is after you open the door that I can see closing right now, and I can't see you anymore.
No, I got it. First
Okay,
column, 3. Second, 1, 3, 1.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole time I'm just like whispering some kind of prayer to Ishtisha. Like,
Please
this
don't
is
let
the
me get
worst. I'm
turned
going
into
to
sashimi.
die. Fire is like absolutely the worst thing. Please, God, save me.
I've got sushi to eat after this. So.
Yeah, this is like the lobster praying it doesn't get dropped in the pot right now, because the thing was just heat, right? It wasn't even fire. It was
So at the end of all of this coaching, eventually you get to the end, you pull yourselves up, and you are standing looking into this big circular or big square chamber with the circular stairs running up 30 feet up this column.
See, no problem. I mean,
No problem.
We're here now.
And that'll be where we take our last break. So take a break here. Everybody wash the salt off. And when we get back, we'll see if you can figure out how to get up these stairs and get that jug, get that sweet, sweet jug. It's jug
I
time.
don't care about the jug.
But it's a jug. It's
know.
probably a
Jug.
magic jug.
It's the
Jug of
worst
many
thing ever.
spigots.
All right, everybody, stick around. We'll be right back. Jugs. It's at a time like this where I wish that I had a song that was all like jug music. And I could just play it for 5 minutes for y'all. Welcome back, Juggalos. It's time for the conclusion of today's episode.
Fuck off.
You know how like last time this happened, you were like, "No, Ishi dies" or whatever. This is where I go like, "No, you're fired."
Was it what, a Juggalo blow?
I spent the whole time not salty. And I did my happy face as we came back in, and you made that joke, and I had to just.
All right.
Ruined it.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's just recover from our juggalitis, and we'll move on. So, there's the room. I'll give you another quick re-description of the room. The floor of this dusty, 40-foot high, 20-foot wide chamber is littered with dinosaur bones. Webs stretch from the walls to a 30-foot tall central pillar, coiled around which is a narrow stone staircase. Its steps covered in dust. Carved into the pillar are the reliefs of a man carrying a crocodile. The reliefs follow the stairs up to the top of the pillar, upon which sits a large, beautiful ceramic jug. The staircase that spirals around the pillar is only 2 feet wide, and each step is 1 foot higher than the one below it.
Oh, maybe we need to go up that piggyback as well.
I mean, it was kind of interesting getting a new perspective on things. I could live with being 10 feet tall.
I'm not a horse.
No, you're very much not a horse.
Are you a seahorse?
fish.
No, I am not a seahorse, Adam.
Little Fox is just looking at dinosaur bones. She doesn't give a crap about this jug anymore.
It's a bunch of dinosaur bones.
Ooh,
It's just small, like, Compsognathus? Just like little bones, little dinosaur bones.
Yeah, and so she's looking through those and like sorting them and looking
also
for
feels
specific
cheated.
things.
There's no gold or jewels or kobold treasures at the end of this trap.
I mean, have you looked in the jug?
No, but it's a jug.
Yeah, I go over to it. I'm like,
I think it would be unwise to surmount those steps not with someone on your back. You and Ishi should go together.
The jug is 30 feet up, so you can't really get a good look at it from here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was on the floor.
No, there's a 30-foot tall column that's flat on the top with a jug atop of it, and you can just make it out from down here. I guess you have your lantern out.
Do you think that it's going to trigger something if we move this jug? Because, I mean, I wouldn't put it past these people at this point.
I don't know. Why don't you and Ishi go and try? See what happens.
Well,
Why are you trying to sell me down the road? I gave you the answer to all the things.
How big and heavy does this jug look?
It depends on whether it's empty or full of, like, plutonium.
Cement.
Yeah.
If theoretically it were empty.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, it just looks like it's made out of pottery. So, yeah, it's not, like I said, it's like the size of a plastic milk jug.
Okay, fine, Matt.
And it's, covered in spigots all around the outside, little.
I summon up, and it kind of comes off my hand. As the incantation does it, it's like I'm pulling on a glove for mage hand, and then it just like slides off, and it's just like a copy of my hand in like slightly ethereal blue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, instead of dealing with this, hopefully we could just take it. Why don't I see if I can lift it up? It's probably full of something, but it's worth checking.
Sure.
And then when this whole room floods and we all die,
I won't die if the room floods.
It's a very good point. You will be able to carry on and warn other people who are foolish enough to come here not to pick up the jug. All right, I use mage hand and I try and pick up the jug.
Okay, so where is everybody while this is happening? Because you haven't moved yourselves into the room.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I am where I am.
Yes, I'm here-ish.
Okay, all right. So you send your mage hand up to grab the jug.
Yes, please.
All right, let me take a quick look at what mage hand
Swords
says.
of fire stab you, and then the floor just empties out.
Okay, it's just at the edge of the range, right? Because it's 30 feet tall pillar. Use your action to control the hand. You can.
I want to move myself to the bottom of it.
Move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. Okay. All right. Okay. So what do you do? Imagine that you're picking it up with your own hand.
Does it have?
It has a round, a handle.
Just one?
Yes, just the one.
Okay. Then I pick it up and I try not to tip it.
So you just want to lift it straight up? Okay. All right.
Yes.
So you lift it up, and as soon as you do, you hear above you, you hear like a rattling, and then debris, chunks of stone just start raining down into the room from above. Everybody needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
As like
Is this
huge
danger
chunks
zone?
of stone tumble down onto you. Yeah, danger sense applies.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna die for the door.
I'm going to get crushed.
Yeah, me too.
I get a 15.
All right. If you got a 13 or if you got less than 13, so everybody except
Everyone except me.
yes. Would you like to spend a luck point to reroll there, Malik? Okay. Okay, there you go. All right. So the two of you, Little Fox and Malik, you take half of this. Arcturus and Ishi take the full amount. The full amount is 22 damage.
I'm dead.
So yeah, rocks just start falling from the ceiling on you. Arcturus takes one in the head, thunk, and like drops, falls to the ground, bleeding from a head wound, which are always less bad than they look. And there's like rattling and dust and rocks and everything's like tumbling on you. Yeah. And
As I die, I say this is why I didn't want to come in here.
It lasts. It lasts all of a moment as the falling debris, and then settles, and then. Actually, it's still falling. Everybody take actions. I need to know. Hold on. Sorry, the damage is wrong. I was reading the other trap. It does less damage, but it lasts longer. So this is the actual damage for the first round. So you're still up, but I need to know what everybody's doing.
Oh, the other trap. Oh, okay.
I was reading from a different trap. So go back to whatever normal health you were, then take either 9 or 4. But the rumbling continues. So that was just the first round of collapse. What is everybody doing?
I was like, quick, back out of
Grab the
the.
thing! Grab the thing! It's
I'm
gonna
grabbing.
You took damage, Malik, right? And is Mage Hand concentration?
That's a good question. No,
It isn't concentration? Okay.
it is not.
All right. So debris falling. What does everybody do? You all get one action.
Okay, so Malik's grabbing the thing, I assume. Like
Yeah,
The
let me
jug
check.
with Mage Hand.
Yeah, hand last, blah, 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 blah. You can use your action to control the hand. Oh, I have to stay where I am.
You can move the hand 30 feet when you move it.
Oh, no, I don't, because I can...
You
use an action
move,
to-
but the hand has to stay within 30 feet, and you have to use your action to move.
Yeah, so
move
I-
the
So
hand.
you
I'm
move
moving
it
it
first,
while I-
and then you move.
You could just bring it
So
to
you
you
don't
and
get
grab the
damaged.
jug, and then
Yeah,
use your
the
move
thing
action.
Is that in order to get through all the traps going out of this place, we need to have 2 and 2.
Okay, so what's everybody doing?
I move to the. I assume rocks aren't falling outside of the room.
No, just in this room.
Great. This
Yeah.
is where I move.
Okay.
how much movement are we allowed here?
I mean,
don't know.
you have a round, like a combat round.
Have a
essentially.
round? Okay. Then,
So I will hold my action, and if Ishi is adjacent to me, I will pick her up and put her on my shoulders. That's what I'll do with my action.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I like get in position for like getting the hell out of here.
Okay.
So yeah, stack up, Elf. Put your token on my token.
Yep. Arcturus, do you go to move out of the room as well? Because I'm gonna...
Yes, I would do the same thing, begrudgingly, but also we're in danger of.
I like hold the jug up and I like balance it on your head while I like
Like put a foot. You put a foot on like Arcturus's belt, and the jug like slips sideways.
And I
I consider
like-
at this point just knocking you off of my back and making a run for it.
Malik, I think there's a moment where like I'm looking across to you two and I go like, "Give me the thing!" like,
yeah, and I like push it up to you.
Okay.
like, and
All right, so Malik, you climb up onto
I've
Arcturus's
done this
back.
a lot. I've done this a lot more than they have.
Okay. Now what?
And then
Never
I'm a like at the edge, like sit on it, flip around, drop down, like catch myself on the edge,
Okay.
drop down slowly.
So there's no-
So
yeah, there's
we're
no
holding
problem.
The jug,
It takes some time getting out.
and yeah, we'll go back through the trap in the opposite sequence of the corner
Mhm.
one, and then the next one, and then the next one.
I follow Little Fox, assuming that she remembers the thing because I was mumbling and grumbling the whole
And
way.
yeah, reopen the door, go out the thing, drop down.
Yeah, have
Okay.
we collapsed like the
Across.
whole thing? Does it like move?
No.
a lot?
For 3 rounds, rubble just crashes down up at the top, and then it stops.
Yeah.
So that's a thing that happens.
Okay.
When
But we
you-
can go back and check now. I'm sorry about the rocks.
So the two of us went down, like, me and Ishii are like, we're gone. We're out of there with the jug. The two of you are still up there if you want to be, and that's
No,
fine.
I would have like.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
following
want to
like
be
a
in
track
this
line.
place anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just gonna peace out.
Okay.
That's our
So,
plan.
yeah,
And
keep
I
going.
was
Keep going.
following-
You get out
I
of
was
the pit.
following behind you. Yeah.
So move your tokens. Put yourselves where you are. And when you come out, yeah, you're still on each other's shoulders. You haven't had a chance to get off yet. When you come out, you see
Oh,
there's some
Hi.
people waiting for you. And what's interesting about this section is that over by the canoes, when you walk out, you can see there are a group of 4 of these masked goblins with hatchets, and they're just chopping your canoe into pieces. Standing in front of you, there are 4 goblins.
They all die now.
There are 4 goblins, 2 of which are sitting on the shoulders of the other goblins, making a little like human-sized goblin totem pole. And one of the goblins with an ornate mask points at you. He's got a boar-shaped mask. He's on top of the other one, points at you, and says, does anyone understand goblin?
no.
No.
Okay. Let's
Rakanishu.
That's right. It says Rakanishi. Oh, they speak common. Okay, so it says in common. It says, "Hand over the treasure," and the rest are all like giggling and laughing at each other, like.
Hey, Bludge, you should shatter these fools.
I mean, that's the whole thing, is that I've just had my life repeatedly endangered, and
Yeah, just
I'm
fucking shut the shit out of them.
upset and salty, and then I come out of this place with a human on my back, which is, embarrassing in itself.
Okay, well, don't
And
move or anything. Stop. Don't move yourselves. We're gonna roll initiative if you're gonna do anything other than hand over the goblin treasure.
I was
I'm not
trying to-
handing over the
Let's fucking kill
treasure.
him.
No, Little Fox was moving forward, so you're all
I'm not handing over
you're all
no
back
goddamn
here.
treasure.
Okay. All right, let's roll initiative then.
I'm upset that I had
Yeah,
to
fuck that.
be a mule for this stupid sorcerer.
I love it. Like the icing on top of all of this is just like, oh, forget you, goblins.
It's like
I'm
it's like
ready.
Indiana Jones.
ready
I know
to
everyone's
it's
so
Indiana
ready for
Jones.
this catharsis.
When they come out and like all the natives are like about to throw spears at them, it's just like Indy pulls out a machine gun. It's just like no.
Right, the beginning of just Temple of Doom just mows them all down. Okay, let me roll initiative for these
Blue Jay with
goblins.
a 20 fucking initiative.
Yes.
Kill these
Yeah,
dudes.
Arcturus is ready.
I'm ready to just
So ready.
end their lives.
All right,
Get
so
this
Arcturus,
stupid human sorcerer off my back.
Arcturus,
No offense,
Arcturus or Little Fox, go ahead. You can.
Why don't you go first, since you tend to make things explode?
Thank you.
Should I be still in the same square? as
Yes,
Little-
you're
I'm
all still on each
using-
other's shoulders.
I'm using my channel divinity.
Okay, let me grab.
Just,
Hold on, let me grab your shatter template. There, Angry
this one.
Pants. Let me get it for you.
And that deals 24 damage.
Okay, where would you like to center it?
The 4 assholes in front of me.
Like just right there.
Yes.
Okay, now
Is
they
there
get saving
any-
throws.
Is there any way I can get like other people in it? No.
I mean,
don't
you see what you can see, right?
So yeah, I center it on the 4 assholes in front of me, telling me to get.
How big is it?
Okay, so
Let's
Uh,
check the size.
Oh, the size for the thing. It's I think
I
we've
think it
used,
might be 20, so you might be able to have it up so it hits the other ones.
shatter
Yeah,
is
10-foot radius sphere.
10
so you
foot
could-
radius. Yeah. So
yeah, it's 10 foot radius. I did it right.
yeah.
Yeah, so if
So
you
I
pop it up starting on this one, you can hit all of them.
Okay.
It just doesn't
No.
look like
No, you can't.
No, yeah. 2 squares is 10. That doesn't get those other 2.
Yeah, but
These are
radius is...
4 people.
Your radius is 10 feet from the middle.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know, I see what
It's
you
4
mean.
by 4. That's a 10 foot radius.
Yeah, you
like
can't do
sphere.
that.
It's a cube.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna
you don't
center
count
it.
the origin.
No.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna center it on these 4 dicks who said hand over your
So,
jug.
so what does that look like? So they're piled on each other, and their boss is like, give us the treasure. Yeah, I'll clear the tents because they got hella wrecked.
think-
And what do you do?
I think in this instance, like what happens is like we've just come out of this death like like shitty death
A
trap.
literal death trap.
We call these dungeons where I'm from, but yes, that's
A
yep.
literal death trap. I have Malik still on my back begrudgingly because I didn't want to do that either. And then these people are like, give us that weird thing that you don't understand that you just risked your lives for. And Arcturus is just like angry. And the anger just like it's instantly like almost without casting, you know? Because it's a channel divinity also. So it's like almost without casting. Like you barely see like what's the components? Is it verbal? Yeah, it's verbal, somatic, and material. So like you barely see his hands move and like it's just like a yell of whatever the verbal component is for the spell, and then they're just like obliterated.
Boom! Yeah, and this is like what I was saying before, like this would be the equivalent of like someone firing a mortar several miles away and it landing now. Boom! Dirt and tent and debris fly everywhere. You probably wreck the front stairs a little bit. You certainly blow that tent away. So let me clear it from the dynamic lighting.
I love that these goblins are on piggyback. That's like my favorite thing.
So yeah, and then they they blow up.
They take 24 damage.
The tent blows away. They may take 24 damage.
Yeah, they're
or
gonna
half
make
of that.
Yeah. Let me roll. I need to roll 4 saving throws.
Also, rip that snake.
The snake
Still
was
there.
already dead.
The snake body flies away. You see it land in the river. Okay.
No, Malik's not caught in the blast. He's on my back.
It's fine.
So let me. There's one check for Yoka. Yoka is the boss of the goblins, and this is a con save.
Yeah,
Okay. So Yoka gets a 6.
because
and
it's
then I need to
technically
make.
blowing their eardrums, right?
I need to make 3 regular goblin saves. 1,
I hope these aren't
2,
superpower goblins.
3.
So one of them takes half damage, and the rest take 24.
Okay, they all die. You just they were there 1 minute and now they're not. Now there's
Good.
just
Limbs.
a hole where the goblins used to be. The other goblins scream a battle cry and get ready to attack you.
come at me.
I'm gonna see if I can find like a crater token that I can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then-
spell crater. There we go.
Also, the counter battle cry from Little Fox as she shrugs her kobold friend off her shoulders. It's, of course, she just yells "boat" because they're destroying the boat. And I go into
Right,
a rage.
right. They killed your boat.
They killed my boat, so I yell "boat" and I go into a rage and I'm gonna run at these nerds.
Do you still have
Hold on.
is she on your back?
No, I
Alright.
dropped her off my shoulders.
So bonus action to boat.
yeah, what does it cost to shrug Ishii off?
I'll say half your move,
Half my move.
like
Okay.
getting up from prone. Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to go.
Boat.
I yell "boat." I go to the nearest goblin and I smash it with a maul.
Okay.
I'm not doing a reckless attack
Okay.
here because I
No
fucking need
problem.
my armor class. I hit it for 16. Jesus. No, I hit it for 18.
So you run over
18,
with your maul, and
actually.
it's a 2-handed maul, right?
Yeah, it's just a
So-
huge.
Yeah.
Well, it's a warhammer now, isn't it? Didn't
No,
you-
this
No,
is
no,
the Warhammer's the
Warhammer is
backup weapon.
worse.
Okay.
So you run over and you just swing up into the goblin and like hit it so hard it goes flying into the river. Just like
Yeah, just
blam.
like bat it off into the river.
Yeah, its little
So-
mask like falls on the ground.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
We've had a rough day. We were grumpy
Ishi?
adventurers.
So this jug that I'm holding, it's too big for me to like fight with it in my hand.
Yeah, it takes up 1 hand slot.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put it down.
Okay, you set down the jug.
Like behind me though, like in the
Yeah.
square behind where I am right
That's
now. And then I guess I will. Where are we looking at here? Yeah, I guess I'll like move to the.
So
foot.
going over the toes of the statue is difficult terrain. 'cause you
Yeah, I know.
clambering
I'm
over it.
not gonna, but I wanna. What I want to do is go to here
Mhm.
and then crossbow that goblin.
Okay, sure.
So let me just do such a thing.
Okay.
Is daytime.
Between, yeah, is it daytime?
Yes, I think the sun is out. Yeah.
16.
Okay. Yes. Hold on. This is just one of the regular goblins. Let me move.
Yeah.
Your boat is in my way. Yes. Yeah. Barely, but you hit him.
5 damage.
Okay. All right. So the goblin yells in pain as you hit him with a.
I would
coral.
also like to bonus action second wind.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a smart plan.
Yeah, to get back to full HP, basically.
Okay. All right. So
10, I think.
let me see how
Since
this.
we didn't go over it, did you put me down because you didn't move Arcturus?
No.
I screamed and yelled, and I didn't have I was mad. I didn't have the presence of
Malik,
mind
you're
to-
still clinging to Arcturus's back.
Okay.
You have to
So
get
for
off.
you, it'll be the same thing. But let me take my turn first. Okay. Let's see.
Its sweet, muscly back that smells a little bit like the sea. Who wouldn't want to cling to that back?
So good. Okay.
I'm sure for some people that is incredibly appealing.
Okay. So here's what happens.
Those people are the lady.
So
in
on the
shade.
goblin's turn, this goblin comes running out. This goblin jumps on this goblin's back. This goblin jumps on this goblin's back. This goblin jumps on top of those two goblins.
Come at me, goblin.
So this goblin is now like a 15-foot tall 3-goblin battle stack. This one's 2, and then this one's by himself. This one is going to shoot. I think only 3 actually get an action because the bottom ones don't have to do anything. So this one's going to shoot at you, my dear barbarian. So he's got goblin shortbow. Ping. Hits you, I believe.
My AC is 14.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good call. So there's 3.
So it hits me for 3 damage.
3 gobos in that stack and 2 in this one. Yes. Yeah. Hits you for 3 damage and then moves. So this goblin moves. They move 30 feet. No, sorry. From here. Runs off that way. And then the bottom of the goblin stacks will move the whole stack.
You know it's great at dismantling goblin stacks? Thunderwave.
And then that's true. It's very true. And then let me see. The goblin in the bottom of the stack each tracks hit points individually, but the stack moves and makes ability checks, attack rolls, and save throws as one creature. Okay, all right. So they're gonna just move. The whole stacks will move. So this stack comes moving up to you. Actually, it's gonna make you move to it because that's smarter. Okay. All right, Malik.
Put me down. Put me down. I need to cast a spell. I can't.
You can just get off my back.
Okay. I do.
I'm
But
not
there's
like.
the whole put me down, put me down.
Yeah, oh,
There's,
God.
like that whole moment.
So it's half your move essentially to jump off of Arcturus.
Yep. I jump down off Arcturus, and I grab out of one of my component pouches. I have like a small diamond, which I hold up to the light, kind of get it just right, so it's refracting the
diamond's
light,
more like
and then
this.
I pull the different colored lights out of it as
Nice.
little strands, and then spin them round into one chromatic orb, and then I squeeze that, pull the second chromatic orb.
Nice.
I'm
All right, where are you throwing it?
going to throw them at. Well, I can only really see 2 targets, so the goblin stack and the lone goblin.
There's 2 stacks. This one is a stack of 2, and this one is a
Right.
stack of 3.
Okay, sorry. I thought one of them was on its own.
Okay.
Yeah, both of those.
All right.
We'll do the stack of 3 first.
Okay.
I'm definitely really curious what the mechanics of them stacking
Mhm.
do. So I'm sure there's
And I'm
some
going to
convincing-
do fire damage because it's thematically appropriate for me.
Okay.
A 16?
Yep, 16 damage.
Okay. So you form the orb of fire, you throw it, and it hits the goblin in the middle, and the there's like a hold on a second. Let's see. Do I have like a separate token? Oh, I see. They all have different faces. That's cute. So you hit the middle one, and the middle goblin just turns to dust. The top goblin is like and falls onto the shoulders of the second one, and now the stack is only 2 tall.
Okay, and the second attack. 20
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a hit.
for another 16.
Nice.
Fire damage.
Okay, so same thing. You knock one out of the stack. Wicked.
Cool.
All right, so this stack of 2 becomes just a stack of 1. So he falls on his own. Actually, maybe the one on top of him just like gets blown away.
Aw, a stack of 1.
Okay. Arcturus?
I am going to run forward. I think I can go. This is 5, 10, 15, 20. Even if those 2 are difficult terrain, I could get there.
That's difficult terrain too, like this stuff.
I mean, I wasn't going through the bushes. I was going down the stairs, and then the only difficult terrain might be the like edge of the thing, and that's still 10 feet.
That's fine. Yeah, you can get there.
And then I am gonna I'm running, and when I stop, instead of stopping, I slide a little bit.
Yeah.
And that that's Thunderwave, and it's gonna cast it at level 2.
Oh, so you slide and you put your foot down and it's like boom.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that is.
And what's the range on Thunderwave? It only hits this guy?
15-foot cube in front of me.
Oh, starting here. Okay, so it hits both of them. Okay.
And then it's a Constitution save.
Okay.
And that would be, why is that 1 times 1 d8?
Don't worry about that. It's 7 damage plus the 7 for having cast it at a higher level.
Yeah. So 14 damage.
Okay.
If they don't do the save, and half if they do.
Okay. All right. So the front one, the front stack. I'm just checking if they get any saving throw bonuses. The goblin at the bottom makes all the strength, dex, and con saves and saving throws for the stack. Okay. So front stack. Con save. Makes the save. Back stack does not make the save.
So half damage for front stack.
All right.
And they don't get pushed away from me.
So you kill 1 goblin, and then the stack behind it of 1 goes away. And there remains 1 goblin in front of you who now he reaches up and he's like, where? Because you just blew the one off the top of him. Okay. All right. I got to make sure there's the right amount of goblin corpses too, so I can count them for XP later. So there was a stack of 3, which is down to 1, and there's a stack of 2, so I'm one shy. There we go. Just corpses all over the place. Okay. All right. Little Fox.
Now, all I can imagine is the thing where people are water skiing and they form a human pyramid just of goblins. Okay, so yeah. Is the crater difficult terrain?
No.
Okay, cool. So I'll just run across the crater and I'll smash this goblin.
Okay.
I'll do a reckless attack.
Sure.
Kaboom.
Nice. Yeah, you hit him.
For 9 damage.
Mushed. Totally mushed.
Good news.
Okay. Ishi.
You muted elf.
So I thought I saw a goblin run off in that direction over there.
You did, yep.
So what I'm gonna do is, I guess I'll go that way. We'll just go straight this way. And then yeah, let's just get into a fight. There we go.
Yeah, so you see that one around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. And here we are. Ready to fight. And I guess I could do my move here. Action surge, that one. Yeah. So I'm gonna action surge and stab this guy.
Okay.
Action surge. Damn it.
Nope, you miss.
I miss 9 damage.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. So the last remaining goblin grabs from his belt a curving horn of some kind and pulls his mask up and puts his little goblin lips to it and he just goes on the horn and then looks at you and winks, takes the disengage action and runs the hell away.
Aw.
So let's see. How far do they go? 25 feet, I think. 30 feet. Okay.
Oh, I can catch this little bastard.
Okay. So he runs off. Malik?
The tent's on there, so I can see him, right?
You can see whatever you can see. Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that little guy.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh no, you don't, you boat breaking little. And I just magic missile him in the back as he's running away. Just like,
Okay. All right. Roll damage for it.
better kill him. Don't roll bad me. Let's cast it at second level. Let's make sure he dies. 14 damage.
Okay. Yeah, definitely dead. So as he runs off, bleh, yeah, you toast him. Cool. All right. So that horn that he blew was pretty loud. You could hear it echo, and you're all kind of like.
I mean, so was my thunder wave. That was 300 feet. You can hear that in.
But the horn, I mean, the horn was blown on purpose. It wasn't just that it made a lot of noise.
Right.
But before he died, yeah, he blew that horn.
Yeah, it literally describes the thunder wave as being audible out to 300 feet. So it's really loud. And yeah, Arcturus is like panting a little and like looking around at this carnage. And then he takes a deep breath and looks a little sheepish and is like, I really don't like this place. We should go.
We can try and leave, or we can prepare for reinforcements. I'm sure that wasn't all of them. That's probably what the horn was for.
And yeah, Little Fox is just like
anymore.
kicking through the rubble of this tent and going over to the boat to check on it. And she's very sad.
Are you
Sad
also
about
very
both.
hurt?
Yeah, I'm at like 6 HP out of 32.
Yeah, so like
It's been a long day.
I'm gonna like recover myself and like with that whole thing and look around and notice that you're like, you know, beat up and bruised and bleeding and be like, oh yes, my job, and cast Cure Wounds on you.
Yeah, all the boats have been trashed. You know, so you can escape with the treasure that so obviously belongs to the goblins.
You get 9.
I vote those of us that are good at keeping watch, keep a watch, while the rest of us quickly try and get everything valuable off these corpses and move on.
Don't forget the jug. I left it over there.
Nope, I see it. I'm standing in the square next to where you were. So I'll pick it up.
Yep. Okay.
And can I do a quick like assess on the boats and see
They are
what,
like
if anything
fucked. Like they've
beyond-
been chopping away at it the whole time you were in there. And they're all totally not seaworthy.
Okay.
It's sad, really. It's like it's a kindling. They've just been hacking away with.
Paid good money for that boat, and
I
someone
know.
put effort and craftsmanship into it.
I know.
And there were 3 boats. Does their boat murder less no bounds?
No, they're furious boat murderers.
Well, at least one member of the party will be stoked.
Yeah, Arcturus looks over at the
Just like
so Arcturus, that hateful boat has been destroyed.
I mean, Arcturus is just like not upset, but I don't think he's what's the word? Not boasting. He's not like
Gloating, I think was
gloating. Yeah, he's not gloating about it, but he's also like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Quietly satisfied.
But there's definitely like whatever those strange creatures summoned, I don't want to be here to meet it. Honestly, we should
leave. That's what I said. Yep, looting while everybody else keeps watch.
Yeah, let's be quick.
These goblins, the last time I encountered one of them with the giant or whatever, all they had were masks and not really anything.
Well, let's make something.
Yes. So the goblins, they have nothing on them, except for I guess they have like scimitars and short bows.
What about named Gobbo?
What about
and their masks? I guess
crossbow bolts.
They have cool masks.
Not crossbows. Yeah, they have those like those goblin masks.
They're cool. Do you want a cool mask, Ishi?
Gobbo
They're
masks.
cool. Look at that.
There's some other ones too. Let me show you.
Did any of them survive being shattered?
Yeah, I kind of. Well, I mean, some of them were just being crossbowed at. There's got to be one that's not.
It's fine. It's
Some
not.
of them
it's
were
not-
murdered more
look,
conventionally.
it's not sophisticated enough for Ishii. It's fine. I don't need it.
Okay,
If I were
Well,
less sophisticated,
we're
cool.
done with this. I suggest we move before more of them come.
They'll be
actually-
back and in greater numbers.
Exactly. Little Fox, can you tell which direction they came from so we can move in the other one?
That'd be a survival check, Adam.
Well, I mean, you can't just like they came from that way. Like you have to look around and examine for prints.
Yeah,
and-
like I'm looking.
You want
for
to
footprints
take the
and stuff.
time to
Yeah.
do the check? That's investigation.
Like,
Investigation.
I'm
Okay.
fairly certain it's going to be this way because he would have been running towards his allies, but
I get a 5.
This place is a total mess, and your ears are ringing, and like you're kind of flushed out of your rage. You can't really like.
Yeah, like she looks around for a bit and then just kind of like snarls.
I
Um,
could care less what direction they came from or are going to. Let us continue on the direction that we were going to, upriver.
And so
right.
yeah, we were
So
going
when we run
upriver.
into the group of them that we could avoid.
If we're not here when they show up, it'll be fine.
I feel like
Right,
our
so do we
ultimate
want to cross the
destination.
river?
I feel like our ultimate destination is on the other side of the river, but I can't remember. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
do you
not
want to go
looking
back
at
to the
big
player map?
Can we go back to the big map? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm just writing down so when you rest, you get experience. Okay. So if we take a look at the player map of Chult, you can
Chult.
see Chult. It may take a minute if it's the first time it's loaded for you. I've got it loaded already. Zooming in to Camp Righteous, we find Camp Vengeance is on the west side of the river.
And is that where we were going to
So
go?
is
That's the
Mbala
next
and
thing on the
Orlunga.
river. Mbala and Orlunga are both to the west of you.
Yeah,
But our
so we
ultimate-
are going to eventually need to go across the river.
Yeah,
Our
why don't we
ultimate
cross it?
destination was Ataz Kahaka.
No, we're going to Orlunga.
We're going to Orlunga. Okay, cool. So we are going to need to cross the river, presumably.
The Seers in Orlunga, there's dangerous bullshit we probably aren't ready for in Aldani Basin, and there's some other shit down the River Taff
And
in
there's
some kind of.
Mbala.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, do we want to try crossing the river and then keep going? I think we can keep going along the river this way
I feel like
and then cross at Camp
I
Vengeance.
feel
or
like-
something.
it's kind of painting a target on our back to choose to ford the river right here.
I
yeah,
agree.
they're gonna catch us right as we're doing it. Probably.
Well, also
So I
fording,
think-
like this, the river isn't like this is the Congo, right? Not like a little creek.
No, yeah, it's a big ass river.
It's a
too,
huge
so-
river. Yeah,
so
so,
they're probably
getting
better
across
places
is a
to
whole other
cross it.
thing.
So let's keep going down this bank.
Chances
I
are
think-
pretty good if
Yeah.
the goblins are here. They didn't cross the river.
Right.
Yeah,
so
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 we're-
my only concern is which I've been trying to get across. They came from the south because the map was flipped upwise. So if we continue moving south, if they have reinforcements, we're just going to run into them. So we should do a thing to not run into them.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
I mean, it's a like
West
each tile
along
is
the
a
river.
fairly. No, we're not on that side. time.
No, the map wasn't flipped, Dave. Up was north, down is south.
Yeah, the river
But
runs
we
vertical
came from
here.
the bottom.
You came from the
Before-
north. No, you didn't.
No, we came
No,
from
we
the
didn't.
north.
We came from
Yeah,
the
fine.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just
Mistake.
it's fine to
Yeah,
be confused.
so-
It was a while ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So they came from behind you, from the way you came,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
so
gotta
we're
keep
going
going.
this way.
according to
Yeah.
your guess, right? No one actually can confirm that, but
Yeah.
that's the assumption because that guy was
Alright.
running away in that direction.
Let's keep going.
I mean,
So,
either
we're gonna
way,
make a
it's a
move into
large
this
jungle, and
tunnel.
we can just try and move slowly and stealthily and make a little less distance and not attract
Right.
attention.
So I
Fair
guess
enough.
that's the thing. Do you want to try to hide in the jungle?
I'd be
Yes.
fine with that.
So
Let's
try to-
instead of moving, because you're done,
Instead of
you're done for the
traversing?
day. Like
Yeah,
there's
okay,
not
well, yeah,
enough day to pick another hex to go into.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
go to
then
ground
let's
in
try
this
and
hex.
let's try and hide in the jungle and
Okay.
not run into any kind of thing that was attracted by all of that noise we just made.
Hmm.
I mean, I made a lot of noise. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. So let's see here. 5e does group checks in a way that I don't like because it means that this like half of the group has to succeed, but it doesn't work for stealth checks because there's no like clear target, right? Like if I'm like everybody make a stealth check, like is it the bottom two that are the word? Like right? There's no versus group tests. So I feel like everybody just make a stealth check, and unfortunately, it's going to be the person with the lowest result is the one that they might get caught if it comes to it.
Okay, well, sorry. Yep.
That's okay. You're all doing terribly, except for Malik. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we
Okay.
didn't do well.
Right, that's a good point. We could treat it as their passive perception, but still, only Malik.
I got a
If
3.
they go looking for you, the rest of the day is fraught with peril. Right, you head out into the wilderness, and if there are goblins looking for you, you're not doing a great job hiding yourselves. And I think that night falls, which is not better. Might be easier to hide, but not from goblins. Night falls. Do you bother making camp? Like, do you light a fire? Or is it just like continuing to move and hide?
I mean, have we seen any signs of things like coming toward us during the day, or were we just
I mean, if you
scared?
had signs of them coming towards you, it'd be much too late for stealth, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's a big hex. You're basically just in like paranoia mode right now. They could be anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think make a full camp. I think we maybe take a short rest and then like press on. How's that for everyone?
That sounds good.
Do you want to keep moving at night?
That's probably a bad idea.
Because what we could do, we could split the difference, right? We could say you move, rest, move, rest, move, rest. Like, you never stay in one place for very long. Treat it as a short rest instead of a long rest. And then when the sun comes up, you can pick up and move again.
Sounds
Or
good.
That actually sounds really good.
Does that seem,
Yep.
because that splits the difference, right? Because long rest
I mean,
is literally
that-
like lie down and sleep, but this is like we wait 15 minutes and we're like, okay, we should move again. And then you head out.
Well, it doesn't really split the difference in terms of like I don't get my spells back.
It splits the
And-
difference between not getting a rest at all and getting a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Which
at
is
least get a short
combined.
rest.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not nothing, right? If you want to take a long rest, you can just be like, cool, we sit down, we make a camp, like, we take watch, but you've stopped moving and the stealth is off completely. And if they were chasing you, they catch up.
Yeah. I don't think we.
I think we have to
can
keep
afford
moving
it
this
yet.
time, and then we'll take a long rest as soon as we can.
I still have a lot of firepower left. I barely used any of my resources. I know you've used quite a few, but I'm fine for now. Can probably handle another group that big fairly easily.
Then why don't we just stop and let them come at us?
Getting ambushed by
Because
goblins is
well,
gonna be a
no
problem.
thanks. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I don't care either way. We can just do lots of short rests. That's fine.
All right, I'm gonna roll hit dice. And again,
Do we get through the short rest?
there we go.
Yes. Yeah, you get your short rest.
Okay. In which case, I'd love to sit with this jug and see what it deal
Yeah, you
is.
can do that for sure. Let me find it. It's got a thing I can show you. I'll wait for everybody because I want everybody to see the results. So is everybody done rolling their business?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So this is the jug.
Jug. Alchemy jug. Oh, fucking sweet.
It is an alchemy jug, a wondrous item. It is a ceramic jug that appears to be able to hold a gallon of liquid. It weighs 12 pounds, full or empty. So, like I said, kind of heavy for one hand. But sloshing sounds can be heard from within it when it's shaken, even if it's empty. You can use an action and name one liquid from the table below to cause the jug to produce the chosen liquid. Afterwards, you can uncork the jug and pour the liquid out at up to 2 gallons per minute. The maximum amount it can produce depends on the liquid you named. The liquid options are...
Mayonnaise is on the list.
The liquid options are acid, a basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, fresh water, salt water, or wine.
We can
So-
just quit
This thing
adventuring.
is sick.
We just have infinite beer.
Mayonnaise.
No, the important thing about this is that I don't have to use a spell to make
true.
water.
Yeah, we can
Exactly.
make water.
This is
It's
like an
super
amazing
useful.
jungle survival item. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it cannot produce a different one or more until the next dawn. So you get 4 gallons of beer a day, 8 gallons of water, 2 gallons of vinegar, 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
Honestly, this thing is so cool. Like, I want one of these in my home.
Totally. You just like,
Yeah.
bloop, bloop, bloop.
No, this
I
is
can't get
one.
over that one of the liquid choices is mayonnaise. Like,
Not actually.
So, like, if you're fucking starving to death in the jungle,
I mean, mayonnaise is debatably a liquid to begin with.
yeah,
I
but
gotta,
like,
I gotta
it's
wonder.
a fluid.
It's a fluid, but
why is
It
why
has
was
calories.
this the thing in the thematically everything else thematically appropriate, like the traps?
would you like me to read the? Do you want me to read the
Is
the
this
line?
alligator gods?
Do you want me to read
special-
the line that clears this up for you?
Okay,
All it
yes.
says, the only context I had is the jug is an alchemy jug placed here ages ago by Chultans who revered it as a gift from Ubtao.
Okay, so they think that
Well,
Crocodile gave them.
Thanks, Ubtao.
Ubtao bestowed upon you the magic mayonnaise jug.
I mean, thanks, Ubtao. Choltons who placed it here. Big old one of these for you.
yeah. Give those guys the double deuce. So that's probably well. Let's end on a high note of some recovery of hit points, the recovery of the great mayonnaise jug, and we'll put a close. We'll draw the curtains on the great mayonnaise alligator piggyback caper of episode
No.
number 9.
That place, that's horrible.
Episode number 9,
It's
otherwise
White
known as the
Mountain all
salt
over again, and I hate it.
Yeah, Camp Righteous, aka the Salt Mine, aka Camp Mayonnaise.
Well, I mean, we can produce 12 gallons of salt water a day. That's about the same amount as we wasted going in there.
Adam,
How much
uh-huh.
onyx spell?
it would still be Camp Mayonnaise even if it still had Flaming Fist guys in it. Let's-
That's true. they're all Camp Mayonnaise.
It's just spicy mayo for the flaming
The
fist.
Flaming Fist, spicy mayonnaise.
Come get your flaming fist hot sauce here, official hot sauce of the flaming fist.
And they never spoke of the jug or the temple it came from ever again. Well, thank you so much for coming, everybody. If you are interested in finding out more about these lovely people, I will let them tell you where you can do that. Arcturus Zaxath, would you like to go first? Blue Jay, where can we find you on the internet? What's your deal?
You can find me at twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712 or with these nerds on Thursdays at twitch.tv/Roll20 app. And I think we have one more Monday show on twitch.tv/Roll for it, Divinity Original Sin 2 GM Mode RPG. So, yeah.
Cool. It's almost Blue Jay's birthday. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. It's a
Follow-
week from yesterday.
Follow Blue Jay on Twitter and hassle her on her birthday. Be like, yo, happy
Yes,
birthday.
please hassle me.
Vuvuzela. Malik, aka Dave_the_sorcerer.
Dave_the_ so fuck. Shit, ruined it. Dave_the_human on Twitter. Dave_human on Twitch. I was gonna say Facebook. That's not true.
That's not true.
You can't follow me on Facebook. I don't want you to be there. I don't even want to be there. I just do it because Facebook Messenger is used all the time. I hate it. Anyway, thank you all, chat. I very much appreciate those of you that were understanding about my saltiness about this and about the hard time we have with that trap. So that was really cool.
Cool.
It was nice that you were all backing me up.
I
Otherwise,
agree.
would.
We got
Mad.
through it. Good work, Dave.
And now everybody has seen me be salty. Like, a lot of people thought it couldn't be done. It actually turns out to be really easy as long as it
You
involves.
just got to know the right button to push.
That's right.
Right?
Yes. No. Overall, a lot of fun though. Even though we I don't know,
It
we
was
got some
all
choice.
worth it for the mayo.
That's right. Andrew?
Yep.
Well, I'm so glad that we got this mayo. That made me LeMayo.
Get out of here.
I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at Commuting Crow or on twitch.tv/actualfactual. I'm designing a role-playing game for doing like magical girl stuff called Girl by Moonlight. You can watch me play that like immediately following this on twitch.tv/Acegiak, ACEGIAK. And then tomorrow I'm going to be painting minis. I'm going to be painting minis.
See that robot elf thing.
Well, okay, this is
Ooh,
like the
yeah.
last thing I painted, who's like a cool toad troll guy. But I'm going to be working on elves and their robot tomorrow. It's going to be pretty sick.
Cool. Last but not least, Ishi Snaggle.
Yes.
Hello, I am Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/distractedelf or on Twitter at distractedelf, where I will be using an alchemist jug to pour 2 gallons of mayonnaise over myself a day.
Right before dawn, so you get more mayonnaise.
Of course.
Awesome. Thank you, Elf.
Yeah.
I'm Adam Coble, Dungeon Master, and your favorite mayonnaise. You can find me at twitch.tv/Adam Coble or on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. Sometimes I also GM a little game called The Burning Wheel with these fine folks at twitch.tv/Roll20 app. If you liked the salty treasure finding, trap discovering situation, I would invite you to watch a now very old show that we recorded some time ago on the Roll20 YouTube channel of basic Dungeons and Dragons. So we took it back to the 80s and we did the basic, and it was.
The difference with this was I got to make the funny, stupid fucking traps, that was great.
You can watch Dave make a trap out of a crossbow and some string. You can find it there. We will be taking next week off. There's an interlude next week, but we will be running some vodcasting, get caught up on old episodes. Use that time to play a game yourself, maybe using Roll20. Available Roll20.net. Go check it out. We will be back later for more D&D. This has been a delight. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everybody.
This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at Roll20.net.